go on a date. Well, I guess I didn't go on a date. I had a date at my house.
Yeah.
Like a week and a half ago.
Did you have sex with him?
Yes. Yay! For the first time in 4 years.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
There's a W40 on them squeaky boards.
She's back. Don't headbutt.
Oh, sorry. I headbutt the mic.
Awesome. Well,
Out of
welcome.
embarrassment.
Okay. Welcome to Manly Girly Podcast, the fastest growing comedic dating talk podcast in North Carolina. I'm very excited about today's show and today's panel. So we will start with intros. Please give us your name, age, relationship status, and when was the last time you went on a date? And we'll start with our newcomer, Veronica.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I am 34 years old. I'm in a relationship. And the last time I went on a date was probably 2 weeks ago.
Nice. Where'd you go?
We did dinner and a play because we're very classy.
What kind of play? Was it the puppet, paper hand puppet?
No, we went and saw a play our friend was doing. Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to be here.
And then Kate, or is it Katie?
Katie.
Katie, will give us your name, age, relationship status, and last time you went on a date.
Okay. Hi, y'all. I'm Katie Stevens.
And get closer to the mic, please.
I'm Katie Stevens.
Yeah, and if you need to, do you need to bump it up so it's more in line with?
With my height?
Yeah, if you see the little gear on the
little
side,
doodad.
Okay.
raise it and then make it horizontal, kind of like hers.
You want to
Yeah, Tico, if you can.
Do you think it doesn't look like it's right?
Yeah, because it's a
It
little
looks a
low.
little low.
You sound far away.
No one mentioned it.
Yeah, and then tighten it up and then level the mic. Yeah, because these mics are very narrow focus.
Okay.
So like right in front. Yeah, let's hear you.
Thank you for helping me. Yes, it feels comfortable to me.
You sound great. All right.
long black things in front of my people's face.
Awesome. Let's name, age, dating status, and last time you went on a date.
Okay, so I'm Katie Stevens. I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 in October.
No.
I am single, or I guess I'm supposed to say divorced, but it's been so long that I'm single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did go on a date. Well, I guess I didn't go on a date. I had a date at my house
Yeah.
like a week and a half ago.
Did you have sex with him?
Yes. Yay! For the first time in 4 years.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
There's a W40 on them squeaky boards.
She's back. Don't headbutt.
Oh, sorry. I headbutt the mic.
Awesome. Well,
Out of
welcome.
embarrassment.
I like the sunglasses on look.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Katie.
Thank you for
Very
having me.
excited to have you here. And then we have somebody that you know, that you love.
Yeah.
Give us your name, age, dating status, and last time you were on a date.
Was it me or Tico?
No, it's you.
It's you.
I'm Victoria Niemeyer. I am 38 years old, and I'm currently the most single I've ever felt in my entire life.
She belongs to the street.
I do have a few crushes though,
Yeah.
but they're out of town, so I'm making good choices.
What do you say that it's the most single you've been in your entire life?
I feel like I've never been able to be with myself, and my kids are old enough that I don't have to like change their diapers, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like really excited to get to know me.
Yeah. So you're single, but it sounds like there are situationships that you're in.
No, I feel really good about them. Like I could call them, but I don't want to, or if I want to, I could call them.
No?
And they might answer, they might not if they're sleepy. They're all kind of aged.
So it's the kind of age. So you're calling them for dates like Katie style.
No.
Because if they're sleeping, what is it? The
I'm
morning,
calling them
nighttime?
depending on how much conversation I need.
Yeah.
Some of them are very good conversations,
Yeah.
and some of them are just I don't have to say anything. They just know what I need. They're like, oh, I'll take you to dinner, You can talk about what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Some just show up and watch a movie with me and cuddle and go home, and that's enough.
She belongs to the street.
Okay.
Why not?
Or the couch.
Or the couch, or my own bed,
the couch,
where I
yeah.
feel safe. For the
Awesome.
first time.
Well, I'm glad that you know, like you seem like to be in great mood. So I'm glad that you're doing so well.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. And then a newcomer to the show. Give us your name.
Having
age.
faulty equipment going on with my ears and shit.
Yeah, it's like you're wearing glasses and a hat.
He wants to
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
off.
there's a lot of
Hat
prop
and
work
all
happening
thing,
in
man.
here.
Get myself together.
He needs the hat.
Yeah,
This
the
thing is-
twist.
He's having a bad hair day.
This thing is twisted, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
That's right.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Not only am I'm twisted. My name is Tigo. Fuck it. My name is Tigo DeGallo. I'm 53. You know, you people talk it, I live it all day, every day. I'm single. It's okay. I'm fucking. So, yeah, it is what it is till it ain't.
Nice. Well, welcome, Tico. Thank you for your honesty.
Oh, I appreciate you.
You know, like I like that everybody is like, oh, and Tico's like, I'm fucking, I'm single.
I can't stop watching Katie's face right now. She's just.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. Very, very glad to have you here. And then this man, you know him, the man, the myth, the legend, the ghetto Rachi. Please give us your name, age, dating status, and the last time you went on a date. Oh, did you tell me the last time you went on a date?
The last time I went on a date, man, that was like last month. I was in Virginia. I went up to the top of a very expensive eatery and had very, very good conversation and good views and nice drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had sex with her then?
Yeah.
Just get right to the beat
I'm
of it.
sorry, did y'all not hear? I'm fucking.
Sometimes her, sometimes other people.
And Victoria, did you tell us the last time you went on a date?
Nope.
When was that?
No, thank you.
When was that?
I told you I have multiple options here. I want to keep my options open.
She's for the streets.
Yeah.
She belongs to the
Yeah,
street.
you're the one that pushed the button. I'm just the one who's rolling with it.
Just
but no.
give him
She
an
belongs to the
example of
street.
one of your most recent dates.
Okay,
Like,
I had a friend come over last night to watch a show, and I was the little spoon.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But we kept our clothes on.
So it was doggy style, is what you mean?
No, I
Use a
didn't have
spoon.
sex.
She
I
used a
don't.
spoon.
I
Okay.
know.
Was it plastic or
grinding.
silverware?
Yeah, no, he was afraid of my kitten. We
That
locked
depends.
my cat out.
Oh, you got the crazy cats.
It was a real cat.
He's like Tico's like, that won't deter me. You know.
No.
It's a real
But-
kit. It's a real kitten though.
Not a.
And he's
kitty
a bite.
cat.
He's a biter.
Oh shit.
He's very young. Doesn't know better.
That's crazy.
Awesome. Well, sorry about that. We
No, it's
departed.
good.
I forgot to ask a question. I'm a terrible host
No, you
today,
didn't.
but
I was aware.
But
You just evaded it.
yeah, it's all right. Yeah, well, but let's look at the booze flow and then
You gotta watch
open-
Victoria.
crack you
She's
open.
sneaky over there. Any woman that got cats, you got to watch her.
Hey, look, I don't even want this cat. If anybody wants it, I mean, I do want it, but
That's
Oh, whoa.
it's funny on so many levels.
Someone wants the cat. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, sorry. Please give us your name, age, dating status, and the last time you went on a date.
Yeah, my name Dean Kearney, age 52, birthday February 2nd, 1972. I am single, and last time, it's been a long time since I've been on a date because I went through a divorce. So I haven't been on a date. That's just the best way to put it. But I have been approached to do dates, but I haven't had the opportunity to do them because filming and doing stand up comedy. So.
Yeah, you're up here to your neck and ass filming. Like every story that I see, I'm like, you're talking about this as a porno shoot. I'm like, I wonder about your like reels.
yeah, what kind of,
With casting for
Well,
like,
also
Well,
you,
just
You said the word.
I'm
yeah,
like-
you said corno.
oh, did I?
yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
What just for people to know, when y'all see the stories I post on
I don't see 'em.
Instagram,
I think I have you blocked.
it's auditions. These women are, because we about to make another movie called Hit a Lick 2, and a lot of these women are auditioning for them. So what happens is we talk to the management, the managers, whatever, agents, and after they audition, we put their pictures up and stuff. And when I leave here, I got to go through some more And sometimes I'm doing it with them on screen with Zoom or whatever. So it's a lot of women.
Okay, Garvey Slimestein.
So many women. Just all
Nice.
the time. Just
And-
all
and-
I'll be right
No,
back.
no,
Let
no.
me go to the
No,
bathroom.
these women
Hey.
are these women are
Dig in your face.
auditioning for this
holding
movie.
your dick.
Now,
Yeah.
now
Go ahead.
how do you decide? Like,
did it.
is it just headshots or is it
No. They're
booty
all
shots?
Nah, it's going off the audition. And see, you understand, you have a lot of women that's
buttholes.
models and actresses. So a lot of them know, their managers know they can't act. so they can get recognition. They say, hey, we just want them to audition and y'all post their picture. And that's how it works.
Yeah, okay.
Because we live in an age now about popularity. So if
Yeah.
this lady's an Instagram model or OnlyFans participant or whatever,
Yeah.
they'll audition and we put it up. The videos and everything. Now, of course, not the ones that's really explicit.
So you're using them.
No.
They're using him. They're using him. They're using him.
And they pay us too because it's like it's an even trade. You know, they know they're not gonna get the
Mutual
part.
using.
But
So,
also,
but people go to their page and watch it though. So, like I've had corn models come up there. I've had OnlyFans.
I really thought I was thinking like corn on the cob, but
Yeah.
now I
Yeah.
know what you meant. So, yeah.
did
Then
your
we got
div-
regular actors too, but it's good for our movie because when we do the next Hitlerlick 3, it's gonna be a lot of beautiful women of all different races.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. It's more of a professional thing, and a lot of people say, "Hey man, are these women corn models?" And I say some of them are. And I let them know it's all business related because one thing people don't know about the
Sex work is
entertainment
real work.
industry is it's all about popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these people will hit us up and say, "Hey, man, we got somebody. We just need to get their name out there more. Do you mind if they audition? You put the picture up and say, boom, boom, boom." Say, "Yeah, absolutely."
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's PR.
But also-
It's
Do you
PR.
think-
That's it.
Yeah.
PR.
do you think this had to do? Do you think this caused your divorce, or do you think it was you were like, I just got divorced, so I haven't been on dates. Sometimes people get divorced because they have been on dates.
No, I've been divorced for a while. You know.
Okay. Well, stop using it as an excuse then.
Oh no, I'm not using this. No, not using this excuse. No, what happened in my marriage was it had nothing to do with entertainment.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
so glad you're here.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love-
glad you're here too.
I
Maybe
love
we
the
can
little-
get you to audition too. But no, it had nothing.
No thanks. I don't want to be popular.
Or you gonna be popular by
As
doing
you
this.
hide in the corner.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
But that, hey, you got to, baby. After what we just heard you talk about, no, you're gonna be popular. Yeah.
Well,
Good
nice,
luck, kids.
nice thing. Thank you for coming by. And maybe next
Oh,
time.
one
you-
more. And also, I'm
Yeah.
running for office. Make America Ghetto Rachi again. I'm running for office. The real MAGA.
Hell yeah.
The black version.
What office are you running for?
I am the office.
Oh, okay. You're
Don't
the
get federal government office.
He's out of office.
Yeah,
A proud
That's what
veteran
he's
too,
running
by the way.
for.
Proud veteran. I served my country, so
Thank you for your service.
unlike the other MAGA who's a pretender, he didn't serve
So
his
he's got
country.
PTSD. Everybody watch out.
I don't know about well, depends on what the VA
Serve
says.
my country too.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on the
$40
show.
rocks.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here, sir.
Yeah, next time, feel free to bring some of your corn models, to the panel.
I don't think y'all will be
He
ready
did
for
bring
that.
him.
We'll use them too,
Oh yeah, I like that. We got the burlesque dancer here. We got Miss Katie, the improv. We got Victoria, who's secret cat lover.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Listen, if you've got an OnlyFans, you're a small business owner. I'm into it.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah, the stuff they send us. Oh my God.
No, I
That
like
takes
how,
a lot of work.
I like how Wafeeq hasn't said anything until his turn. Like, not even a nod.
Yeah, he's a pro. He's a
Building
pro,
the anticipation.
I'm waiting for the good part.
That's
The
what
man right there.
Well,
Yeah,
wait,
Wafeeq Zarif.
Yeah.
Haven't been on a date. I don't really date like that. So, which is crazy because people keep asking me for dating advice. All my information is G14 classified. If you want to see it, go to comedian Wafeeq Zarif on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. Let's get it.
Okay.
Nice, perfect.
How old are you?
G14 classified. It's on my YouTube channel. Comedian Wafeeq Zarif. Check that out.
She said, "How old are
So
you?"
the rules don't apply to him?
He's a
No,
mystery
he's
man.
No, he's a
we've-
mystery
we've-
man. You got to go.
I feel like we've gotten out of him, at one point, but he's
gotta
done like a
do it.
dozen
Well,
of these.
for those of us that haven't watched this before, do you have an age?
Yes, 93.
Okay.
That's what's up.
I need to know what moisturizer
Did you have
use.
sex with her?
What, my age?
93-year-old that you're talking about?
No, that's my age. I thought you said
Yeah,
my
his age is
Never
93.
been with a 93-year-old woman. I think that might be murder.
Yeah, and
Depends
you're,
on the size.
Yeah.
and you're free
A lot
to
of lube.
Yeah, you're free to lie on this show.
Okay.
But make sure that your lie's good because I will dig into it.
Okay. Well, so while we're all here being vulnerable, Arturo, do you mind if you answer the questions yourself?
Oh yeah, my questions. Yeah, I'm Arturo Lorenzo. I'm 39. I am relatively recently single, And the last time I was on a date, I guess it was last Wednesday. I went to a speed dating event. So, yeah.
How was
Multiple
it?
dates.
It was cool. Yeah, it was like 18 dates. It was fine. I couldn't remember. I had 3 beers, so by the end, I don't remember them all that
3
well.
beers put you under there.
But I did. Well, I started with 2 hazy IPAs, which were like 8%.
Okay, fair enough. It's like 4 beers.
You know,
Tricky,
then I
tricky.
throttled down to a Pilsner. But
Throttled
I did
down.
record, like, I was wired, so I recorded all of it in audio. You know, like, so.
Did you tell them?
Watch out. No, this is a one-party consent state in North Carolina.
I was curious about that. Okay.
Oh,
Terrifying.
Look at him. Of course he wouldn't. He wouldn't. He
oh my
wouldn't
god,
tell
I
me.
would lose it on a date.
No, so I haven't heard through it, but manly girly exclusive, you know, baby.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh, this is exciting.
Oh my gosh.
Funny enough about it is
So
that you know, like a lot of women that I met there, oh, I haven't dated, or you know, women have the benefit of abundance, right? Like you know, you can go to any bar and some dude will fuck you. I don't know if it's the same on the opposite end, you know, like.
I think I aged out of that actually.
No, you can listen. You go to a bar and say, "Hey, I want to fuck tonight." Somebody will take you home.
Yes.
If a guy walks into a bar and says that, not necessarily gonna happen.
You going home in handcuffs.
Yeah, exactly. But funny thing about that was that there was this chick that was there with, I guess, with her friend, right? And as soon as they sit down, she's like, "Oh, I'm collecting burrito recipes and whatever." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like, she has all these recipes, and I'm like,
That sounds racist.
well, or whatever it was, tacos. But basically,
Okay,
she was
tacos.
asking for a recipe for something. Give me a recipe. I'm like, well, what are you here for, right? Like, you're here to date. She's like, yeah, but I want a recipe. So I just called her out on which I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my fucking time giving you this shit. Like, you got plenty of recipes here. You're not even looking at a date here. What are you doing here? She's like, oh, I'm here with my friend. You know. So
You didn't give her a Peruvian taco recipe?
I'm not gonna like. She's playing a game. If she's playing a game and she's not there
You're
earnestly,
wired.
Meanwhile, you're wired.
You're wired.
I'm
You're
not gonna.
having-
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck around. You know, like so.
You are fucking around. That's what
So
you're
While
wait,
you're
what is
bushing,
it?
she might be making a cookbook.
Were
Yeah.
you wired
That's
just for the
true.
show?
That's a good idea.
Or
No,
so that
no,
you
no.
could
I was-
remember
Make
what
a
they were like?
cookbook, right?
Yeah, whenever like I was open to earnestly going on these dates, right? But if nothing came of it, and I've never been one of those, it's just great for my stand up and the show. So and we are doing some more live on the street stuff soon about dating. So it's just
I'll hold a microphone.
Was
for
her
you.
last name Stewart?
I don't know their last names. They only
they
give
don't
me
give
first
last
names.
name.
But yeah, but she was like, and I just went right down the middle, and then like she's like, no, I'm married, and then we had a good chat after the veil came off, and I'm like, I saw a bunch of fucking recipes and everything. I'm like, these dudes literally entertain her, you
Good
know,
for her.
like you know.
I have one of my favorite recipe books is what I ate when I was dating or something. It's like this woman who basically has a recipe from every one of her relationships, and it comes with a little story. Cute. It's actually, I know, it's cute. I'll bring it next time. 'Cause
Perfect.
Maybe we can do that as a dating show.
Oh wow, that's
Awesome.
crazy. I
Very-
remember Ben and that beef stroganoff. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But
I love when men cook for me. I personally don't know how to cook on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I
love
don't
to
know.
cook.
I don't eat without men. They don't even.
I'm OG. I cook.
Starving
Yeah.
over here.
And dance.
well, let's start off with a little clip. I want to preempt this clip with saying that this person went on a date, and person went on a date. Dude went to the bathroom. He came back. His bill was much higher. He got the bill. His bill was super high and expensive, and he asked the waiter, "Hey, what's going on with my bill?" And it turns out that while he was in the bathroom, the girl that he was with ordered some to-go food for her children, you know, and put it on the bill. So we're gonna.
I heard about that.
Need sustenance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, really, is this standard for you, Zara? Like, you think that, I mean, I'm just curious. Like, you think that if you're asked out, that essentially means that everybody gets dinner, like in the whole family?
I mean, if I'm not home to feed them because I'm on this date that you asked me to come on, and again, you know,
That you agreed to go on.
But yeah, and because I expected he would be a gentleman and pay for it. But here's the big
I did pay for it.
Well, that's the thing. He did wind up paying for everything.
I'm not a confrontational guy or a monster. I wasn't going to be like, no, we're not giving these kids food. Like,
But it was a little comfortable. And the fact that you didn't tell him that you were doing it is
Right.
also a little sneaky. I mean, in fairness.
Yeah, I don't like that either, being called sneaky. I mean, the waiter came by while he was in the bathroom. If he'd been sitting at the table, I would have done it right in front of him.
I mean,
don't
like,
have a problem with that.
I've gone to dinner with my friends who have kids, and at the end of the meal, they'll say, hey, I need to take something home for so-and-so. Can you make that separate, or I'll pay for the whole thing because I'm adding stuff onto it? Like, I'm not necessarily expected to buy dinner even for my own friends' kids who I know and would buy dinner for. But you'd barely know this guy, and he doesn't even know them. And he also didn't know he was doing that. I mean, that probably added what? $60 to the.
It's almost double the bill.
Yeah, I mean, so at least it's a conversation. Like, hey, I got to bring some food home for the kids, and then he can decide then if he wants to pay for it or not.
So,
Who is this guy that stole Howard Stern's voice?
I don't know, but
Like an angry Ben Stiller, man.
we'll get reactions from the panel. Let's start with the person that sources this clip. Thank you, Wafeeq.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think this is definitely wrong. She's wrong for this. You know, this is she doesn't want to be called sneaky, but she made a sneaky move. It's a simple matter of just letting the guy know, hey, I would like to bring some food home for my kids, and then he can make an informed decision. Or better yet, really, even if you did that, I probably still would say no, because I invited you out for the date. I didn't invite your kids out. It's your responsibility to handle the kids' meals. She said, one thing she said that I think is a real problem. She said something like, I got kids, and I thought he'd be a gentleman and feed my kids, but he didn't invite your kids out. He invited you out, and it's up to you as a mother and as an adult to find dinner for your kids. Otherwise, you shouldn't be going out on a date.
True that. Yo, all right, bet. Being a gentleman. What's the cutoff point of being a gentleman? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that these women have it misinterpreted
They
how
could have
it's
gently
supposed
said
to
no.
be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. Like, I mean, we open up doors. I mean, I'm OG, so you know what I'm saying. I open up doors. If we're walking down the street, I walk to the left of you or the right of you to make sure that cars jump on the curb and hit you. I'm that type of dude. But if you coming at me like, yo, I gotta feed my kids,
We ain't worried about cars. We're worried about feeding our kids.
dude.
It's
They
a
have
thing.
they have
now-
fathers for that. They
now
have
that-
fathers for that, and they have a mother for that. If you,
They don't always.
matter of fact, if the date is like this, if you decided to go on a date with me, that means that you decided to take that time away from your children. If you decided to take that time away from your children, then you need to make sure that your children are taken care of. That's not my responsibility. I like Wafeeq said, yo, I'm here to take you out, not your kids. Now, if it was a play to see how much of a gentleman I am, you see what I'm saying? Or even in that sense, it's sort of because you have to understand, when dudes do stuff like that, there's a point of time, there's this tilting point where you can be a gentleman or you can be a simp. You feel me? And that's real talk. I mean, I have no problems being nice to a woman and treating a woman lovely and treating a woman how she's supposed to be treated. But all that other stuff, that has to come afterwards.
Okay.
If that's the case, if you giving me pussy tonight and that pussy's good, and I go tell my friends, are you going to go fuck my friends?
No, but you better pay for our kids' dinner.
Nah, but I'm just saying, that's the same situation. It's the same situation, right? If I say, yo, man, this girl I just fucked, her pussy was so delicious, yo, you should get some. You know what I'm saying?
So how
Hey,
it
then
goes?
bring that shit to my boys. If I gotta feed your kids, feed my homies. Feel me? Bet.
I think it's so.
this went
It's
way
so.
left.
I think that behavior is so cringy that it's just a gift. Anytime that you are looking to start something with somebody and they show you who they really are,
Bet.
thank you so much, because I'm trying to do something bigger and good, and so thank you.
So you agree with Tico?
Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if
different
I
way.
agree either.
In a different way. Yeah, I mean, I think that if, like what Victoria's saying isn't wrong, like mothers need to feed their children and all that stuff, but obviously that's a completely separate issue
Totally
than what's
separate.
happening on that date. And what's
Right.
happening on the date should have nothing to do with the kids, because that comes later, way
Yeah,
later.
you can
Way
meal-
later.
you can
If
meal
you have
prep.
kids,
Yeah.
you protect them, and
Exactly.
you're not even putting that on the radar. You might mention that they exist, but that's about you guys getting to know each other. And that's just, it was a gift to him because he didn't have to pay it, like you said, but if he did, because he's non-confrontational,
which
that's
is his
fine
own
too.
thing to
Yeah,
figure
that's-
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's some more information. Like, it was that the first date or the second date?
I think it was the first.
It was the
date.
first
I mean,
date.
it's
Yeah, on the
super
first date.
cringy.
Yeah, on the
And
first
that's
date.
a
That's
good
crazy.
point. Once you started dating, that's not.
Right.
But the other part of that is every time I go on a date, I'm trying to like look at the menu or whatever. And I'm like, sometimes I want the most expensive thing on the menu, and I don't want to feel like I'm a dick for getting the most expensive thing. So I just go at it every time as if I am going to pay for it myself.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
100% willing to,
Yes.
and I'm going to get what I want because I'm not going to sit here and act like.
Quick question.
Right.
From whenever you go on those dates, and thank you for your insight, and you say that you're willing to, what percentage of those times would you say that you actually have to pay for that?
Not often. And I have regretted it where I'm like, you should have let him pay. It was such a lame date, where it was a waste for me. And I am a single mom. So
Right.
all that money does matter to me. And I want, when I go out, I want it to be really special every time, even if it's a first date. I
Yeah.
think
Right.
that first dates can be great. And
Yeah.
I've been on Bumble since, I don't know, sometime in the winter. And I had sex for my first time last
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
get it.
being selective and I was
Yes.
trying to be really intentional.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
I went on a ton of dates and I had a lot of great ones. And I was always kind of surprised when they didn't call back. And I think some of it is all those innuendos of
Right.
they were waiting for me to call them. And I like being chased. So
Yeah,
you're not going to
that's
call me.
natural.
I didn't make that much of an impact.
And quick question as a follow up on this last one. The guy that banged you out. Did you order the most expensive thing on that date?
No, he had taken me out and fed me at his house and done other, it had always been him treating and I really like him. So I was like, I really need to do something in
Well, of course
return.
I like.
And I don't have a lot of money right now.
Yeah,
so
no,
I just took a
right.
vacation.
Can I give you a suggestion? When you go out on a date moving forward, order whatever you want. Whether
Yeah.
it's the most expensive thing or not.
yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
they ask you out, right?
Yeah.
So then
Or
that-
you end up on
yeah.
a dating freaking podcast and everyone's paneling to say that you're a piece of shit for doing what you did.
But I made,
When did
I
that
made
happen
a
to you?
steak.
What?
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, if I
Reciprocating
order
date.
the lobster and the steak together,
Yeah.
then what if he goes onto some dating podcast and is like, I haven't even eaten
That's-
her out yet. Why
that's,
would you order that?
That is like saying, what if I step outside and some stormtroopers come
Right.
down and
No,
attack
it's
us?
not like saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
you
like
gotta
a
look at the
legitimate
world like
fear
that. But-
based on what we just experienced. Like,
But
I'm a
that's-
single mom who's hungry. I sometimes only go out to dates because I'm only feeding my kids.
Allow me to finish. Order whatever you want because they ask you out, and whoever is asking the person to step outside of their normal routine should be willing to assume the responsibility of the financial impact of the date. That's just kind of what it is.
That's
Do you
true,
disagree?
but
I don't know. I mean, I often will pay because I am using that as a way to vet if the person is willing to like mess around with traditional expectations of like courtship, so that I'm like, okay, can you handle that I am gonna pay? And like, granted, I'm queer. I've dated men. I've dated women. I've dated non-binary trans folks.
Which ones gave it to you best?
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
She blushes. She smiles.
She's like, "Lose my train of thought."
But because like I am not interested in what the rules of dating are. I'm interested in whether you and I as people are compatible and can co-create something interesting together. And if we are so married to these like, you asked me out, so you will pay. I feel like there's less space for that creativity. That's just how
Right.
I function. There's
Right.
like no shade to people who are like, because I think that makes sense, right? That like, well, I asked you out, so I'm going to assume that like I'm treating you, right? And I think that's beautiful if that feels good to you. But I think to follow through on like these rules just for rules' sake is something I get skeptical about.
Well, the key word I think that really meshes what we just said is I said whoever asked the other person
Yeah.
to step outside of their
That's
routine
Yeah.
should be willing to assume the financial
Yeah,
responsibility.
totally.
So if I ask you out and you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to pay for this, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I'm not asking you out expecting you to do that.
Yeah,
I'm,
totally.
Right.
I'm willing to do it because I said, hey, can you break your normal routine and go out of your way to come out with me?
That
So
totally
I-
tracks, yeah.
Yeah, and I would expect you to order whatever you want, whether it's the most
So
expensive
if that's
or not.
if that's the case, and I'm with you, I feel you. So do you feel as though if she has children that we're dealing with, that she has children, that you need to pay for the babysitter, and you also need to pay for
That
the
would be
food,
nice.
That would be
and
great.
also need to
That would be
pay.
hot.
You know, do you feel that if that's the case? I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. Now we're talking about the first date. We're not talking about like down the line, and we've been dating for a while. I'm talking about this first date. So you're saying on this first date, if I'm willing to be with you, and I know that this is the thing that we got to do, and I know that you have children, so I have to pay for the daycare, the babysitter, and the date, and pay for food also. But then also go home if she decides that, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's not even, I'm not saying that sex is the end result of every date, but I'm just saying that, to leave that spot and be like, okay, bet, and then she might not call you tomorrow.
No.
Bet. You my man.
Well, let me follow this up, right? And especially because Wafeeq, we've had a similar conversation in a prior podcast, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wafeeq, it's your position. If she's ordering the most expensive thing on the menu and you didn't calibrate for you were going, that's on you as a guy, right?
Yeah.
You set the scenario, right?
That's on you.
Like of where you're going. Okay, so we'll start with the ladies. Is there a place that is unreasonable to be taken on a date? Like, is Applebee's cool? We'll start with you, Veronica.
I think I'm such a pain in the ass because I feel like I'm like context matters, but I'm like if there's a bit, if we've been because I'm like
First
my
date,
love language,
first date.
my love
First
language
date.
is a bit, right? So if we've been chatting and we're like making jokes about Applebee's and then we like go to Applebee's, like if it's in the context of a bit, I can hang with whatever.
First
now,
date?
sure, whatever. If I'm a but if I'm a vegetarian, right? If somebody knows that and then they're like, let's go to a steakhouse, then I'm like, that's a problem for me, right? So I think it depends on like what you know about the person and then choose to go out of your way to like ignore that. I think is the unacceptable thing to me. But yeah, we can
Okay.
go to Waffle House. I'm fine.
Have you ever declined somebody for the place that they propose? No?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Katie?
Yeah, I try not to. I might judge it, but I would probably still be okay with it and just like see like what it was about. Like, was it just because not everybody. My 17-year-old loves oysters. She loves nice food. Her favorite restaurant is Applebee's. She swears by it. Every time she goes, she's like, "Mom, it's as good as ever. It's so good." So,
Listen, people
That's 'cause
dog on
it's always
Applebee's. Applebee's is
microwaved the
awesome.
same way. Yeah.
and I can find something at Applebee's I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, the fried cheesecake they got, the little dessert, or the chicken fajita roll up.
I worked at
Oh, yeah.
Applebee's for 3 months when I was 18.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
18, I also worked at Applebee's.
So you know too well. You know too well what's happening
Get that
behind the
appetizer
scenes.
sampler, some mozzarella sticks, some quesadillas.
Fuck me up with a
Fuck.
mozzarella stick.
Might
Yeah.
go to Applebee's today. Awesome, thank you. Victoria, how about it? Applebee's date?
Yeah, I don't think I would mind. It depends on the company. It depends on the context.
What if you were, I don't know if I'm super attracted to this guy.
I wouldn't go out to eat with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I
have
like
time
that.
for that. I've got kids at home.
Okay.
I will say I have gone on a few where it made me like not like it as much when I had to like wait on myself, or I'm like over there sweating in line over here, then going over here, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, they didn't think this through. This doesn't matter.
Was
to
it a
them.
buffet?
I don't know. It was like you go get a
Order at the front.
Yeah, it was like a pizza place or something. I don't know. It was like
Yeah,
in a
like
shopping
fast
center.
casual. Like,
Yeah, fast casual, which wasn't that big. But then
was
like
Panda
I'm dressed
Express,
up
you
and
know?
I couldn't get into the
Yeah.
bench. Like it was like weird to get onto it.
That was a
and-
bad call.
But also, Katie and I both we've actually our friendship has formed over our jobs together. We both work in
Yeah.
the restaurant industry, catering. Like we have a servant's heart. But when it comes to our relationships, it's like more a matter of like what we need and the time we have to do it in. So, you know what I'm saying?
that's so true.
Like,
Because
I-
if you're spending time waiting in line separately to order your thing and then you get your little card,
Yeah.
that's like missed out time for connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also really great restaurants that we visit because we miss them or we crave them. So maybe to some extent, if I want to eat at a restaurant that I know someone who I likes, I'll be like, hey, do you want to get together and have dinner at that place that we like? And I always sit down at a restaurant table preparing to pay for myself. Like I don't order anything. And when the guy says, get whatever you want, it's on me, I'd love to treat you, there is a sense of ease that like washes over me. But if that's not said,
Is he going to increase his odds?
I didn't know that was dialect.
I don't think it increases odds. It just makes me feel like this person is aware that I'm like trying to earn every penny, you know. Like,
and is somebody being aware increasing their odds towards your needs?
I don't know if it increases their odds. I went out to a dinner and show with a friend recently, and I think he was trying to make it a date, but then I ended up like vibing with like the person at the next table, like, literally.
Oh wow.
And I felt so bad because this guy even followed us back to the show. It was an amazing show. There was a very famous.
So you ditched a date during the date?
I didn't ditch him. We went together, and I was prepared to pay for my whole way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What percentage of the times that you go out
But because
do you
he
pay
took
your
me
way?
to dinner doesn't mean I want to hang out with him. He's not. That's not the kind of. I mean, I want to hang out with him, but I didn't want to like hang out naked in his bed.
She gets treated 89% of the time.
89%
to
of the time.
You got
to
an accountant here
93%.
for you.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
89 to 93.
But here's the situation: the performance we were going to is like one of the most famous bass players.
So he took you to a
Sons.
super great
Sons.
performance on top of that.
No. It was
The
like
famous
it's a
bass
free
player's
it's a free
son.
show at the Cave in Chapel Hill, which is a very famous venue. You should check it out. Mondays they do a jam, and they had this guy named Felix Pastorius, and
like a
apparently
bass
his
player.
father was one of the most famous bass players in the history of bass players. Okay,
Yeah.
and when I heard this, I was like, I've never heard of Jaco Pastorius, excuse me, and when I heard of it, I just mentioned it to this guy who used to be a bartender at the restaurant where we were. He also had been cornered by this couple. We watched the whole thing go down. It was like our entertainment. I went in to make sure he was okay. I was like, do you know these people? Like, do you need a shot?
Oh, so you okay? So the
So
story,
it was
so
a-
story gets a little clearer.
It's clearer.
You already knew this guy.
I didn't
you were
know the
already
guy- I
you
didn't-
said you worked with him at the restaurant.
The
thing.
guy that you went with
That
originally?
I went with originally, I knew him.
Okay,
Right,
but the new guy you didn't.
The new guy, we watched the whole thing go down, and when I went into the bar, in 30 seconds, I figured out he used to be the bartender here for 11 years. He didn't know the couple; they were just talking to him for his table because it had a
Yeah.
good view. And I was like, "Well, we're going to this great show at the Cave. You should come." It's apparently Jaco Pastorius.
Did you tell him you were on a date when he was
I wasn't
telling
on
you?
a date. There was no
It was
part of the
vague.
night that said that he was on a date. My friend brought me because he knows I like music, and he fed me because he knows I like to eat.
Does your friend want to fuck you?
I don't know. Probably.
So he was,
Please,
he was just a
come
friend.
on,
He was
that's-
just a friend.
Right, but like,
Does
use
every-
your big
She went
boy
as a
words.
friend.
I think he
I
would.
feel
I
like
think he
Use
would.
your big boy
communicate it.
words.
Like,
Use your big boy
communicate what
words,
you
right?
want.
If he had the option to fuck me one time and it be over, or be my friend for a very long time, I think he would still choose my friendship.
Sometimes girls don't get to have friends that are guys.
Yeah, of course.
That don't
not.
want to
Yeah.
fuck. Like they all want to fuck
Yeah,
you.
we do.
and
That-
you're
yeah,
still
yeah.
friends with
Yeah,
them
we
and
do.
don't
And
fuck
I
them.
made a comment about choosing my meal after he chose his because I would know what my
And,
budget
and,
was.
and let's bring
Yeah,
this
that's
back.
fair.
Let's bring this back real quick, right? Because in a prior podcast, you mentioned that you were very upset at a friendship that ended, that took you out to dinner and all this stuff. And I asked you, right? Did this person
Yeah.
want to get with you, right?
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Oh, I missed the dinners and whatnot," right? And you're in for your full rights. I'm not criticizing. I'm just trying to dig
I
into
know
the.
we had this
I'm trying to
discussion.
dig into the worldview just to understand
Yes,
it,
and-
right?
and
wait,
this-
one quick
Okay.
second, right? So we all like to think that we would go into the burning building, right? Because if you don't have to go into it, fuck it. What's
Right.
wrong with saying I'll go into the burning building,
Mm-hmm.
right? In a way, sometimes I find that similarly, we do find a lot of ladies. They're like, "Oh yeah, I would pay. I haven't offered, and I never have. I don't have to the majority of the time, right?" And I'm not saying that it's exactly like that, right? But if you sometimes look at it from some of these men's point of view, could you see how they might think like, yeah, in an ideal situation, then this guy, right, like that.
I feel like I did hurt his feelings. Yes.
You feel like you hurt his feelings.
Yeah, but his feelings are always hurt around me, and I don't.
Why
fuck
is that?
hurt feelings?
But why is that? Why is that?
And if it's this is friend that, so that
Because he treats me like a friend, and then as soon as one of his friends vibes with me more, he's mad at me.
okay,
Because he likes you.
We gotta
That doesn't mean I should
communicate.
fuck him.
and
No, you don't have to.
Never-
But I'm
yeah.
just
It
telling
sounds
you.
like you're saying I should, and I
No,
need
no,
to.
no, no.
Well,
I'm not
have you
saying that,
have you
no.
communicated to him?
just
By the
talking
way,
about
I'm
him.
not
Yes.
interested in you romantically. I'm never gonna have sex with you. Have you said that to him?
I first of all, I'm not sure if I never would, but he's not in a place that anyone should fuck him.
Okay. So could you understand? Like, I'm not saying I never would. This is like
she means
this is selling the
when
dream,
when
but
the fucking
girl
planets
version.
align and the stars collapse.
No, I mean, like, if he gets his life
happens.
together and his depression kicks, then I maybe would, like, be around him.
I'm still waiting for that to
You might
happen
get
for
him-
me.
you-
Yeah.
But I'm not
just-
saying that that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's not
I'm not going
fuckable,
to
but
be the
he's
one to fix
finger-worthy.
his depression.
Yeah, he's not
he needs
fuckable,
to be
but
the
he's
one.
He's munchworthy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
munchworthy.
He needs to find things that make him happy
Well,
in
well, I
life.
guess-
And
yeah.
I hope I'm one of them, but I don't think me putting my mouth on any of his privates is part of that vision in this
Would you
moment.
prefer to fuck him or have him meet you out?
I'd prefer to have him take me out to eat.
No.
take me to
If
a
you
show.
had the
No.
choice between
No.
having him fuck you or having him meet you out, what would you choose?
I don't know. It depends on what kind of drugs we're on.
That's a fair question.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say that's
You have only had a couple drinks.
I would walk home.
Mm.
No.
Now,
see.
really, if
I
we
really
just
want to save our friendship. I like him as a friend.
No.
but
This is
never
a hypothetical. I'm not saying this is gonna
hypothetical.
happen, right? This is a
Have you told
two-choice
him that, you know,
hypothetical.
you like him
I
as a
don't
friend?
know. I think eating out is more personal than fucking.
If you eat, no, if you eat somebody out, you got to fuck. Damn all that shit. It's just like
I
smelling the
think
damn
from
food
a
at the
human
buffet
perspective,
and you don't eat it. Like,
it's not. It wasn't very kind of you, Victoria. No offense, because you were with that person. They carved out time for you. You carved out time for them. They're treating you to a meal. You can say hi to whoever, but for them to dominate your evening, you could give them your number. Even that wouldn't be bad. But maybe later, after, and say, okay, our time together is winding down. Maybe I'm going to go meet this guy now. That's a different situation.
I did that.
But to just kind of like side hustle it, and then it's just like treat somebody the way you want to be treated.
I did, and I understood it from the get-go, but this is the whole situation. The guy behind us, we watched the whole thing go down, and my friend was commentating on it, right? And then I was like, I think he doesn't know, I think he's not okay. Like, he doesn't seem okay. So when I went to the bathroom, the guy was at the bar, and I was like, oh, here's my chance. I didn't really have to pee that bad, so I compromised my urinating time for conversation.
Sure, borrowed time.
And I said, are you okay, guy? Do you know these people? Do you need a shot? And
You offered him a shot. So you hit on the guy.
Yeah,
at
you hit
the
on the
bar.
guy and bought him a drink.
I
wow.
had my credit card.
Victoria, I
in
got to
my
ask one question.
I
Was he a
willing to pay
brother?
for all the things I ordered and this guy shot.
Hey,
Okay.
Victoria, I got to ask one question. Was this a brother? I got to
No,
know.
she don't date black.
You don't think? Okay. The reason why I asked because
I did not say
saw
I
that
didn't date
podcast.
black guys. I just said I have never.
okay, the reason why I say that because some things are cultural. You got 3 black men on this show,
Oh,
and
I know.
I'm
Trust
pretty-
me. I think our tro did that on purpose.
and I'm pretty sure that if we were on a date with you, we would not allow that. Like you can't.
You
do
would
what-
not allow that. Then I
Allow
would
is a
not have
tricky
gone
word.
on
Yeah,
a
I mean,
date.
just cut it
no,
short.
no.
He would just be like, "You're walking home, bitch."
What I'm saying is, based off what she's saying, that she date one
First
of
of
us.
all, preface: this guy that I went to a show with likes to go to this show anyway.
Okay.
He wanted
Is
company,
that a rationalization?
and he knows I don't have a drive.
He's pulling a Karen move on you, dog. Go ahead.
No,
I'm just saying.
Now, question.
No, what I'm saying is-
One quick
just
second.
friends.
Dick.
This guy and I are
Hey,
just friends.
hey, everybody. Dick, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that he feels bad because he feels that he got taken advantage of?
No, I think he feels bad because he cannot control me. And I even I said to him, I said, "Hey, I hope you had fun last night. Thanks so much for last night." No response since then. So either he died on the way back to Raleigh.
Question. Is it possible? And I always think that sometimes we're the best liars to ourselves. You know, like especially when we feel negatively about something, we rationalize things.
Right, I feel bad.
Wait 1 second, because that takes a negative emotion away. Do you think there's the potential, and unless you've spoken about this, that he did feel taken advantage of, and that you're saying that this other story makes you feel better, and that is why it's a more palatable story to tell yourself about what happened?
Well, in the
Or have you
story, he
talked to him
sounds
about
bad too. Like it sounds bad for both of us. It sounds like I'm a bitch and he got taken advantage of. In my perspective, I didn't ask him to buy my dinner. He told me he wanted to buy my dinner because he brought me there, right? I was like,
on a not date.
on a not date. We don't date each other.
But that's not the issue.
But
though.
he knows that I'm.
That's not
that
the issue,
I'm-
though. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's not the issue. The issue is that even as a friend, when somebody takes their time out to, you know what I'm saying, take that time to be with you,
Yes.
regardless of the fact if you see somebody else that you like you know, that you saw somebody that you was interested in, once you start, you know what I'm saying, going towards not being with me in that specific time and place, because even in friendship, it's important to sit here and value that person's time.
But I only took my potty break time.
I mean,
and
I
then
get
I
what you're
vibed with
saying.
this guy.
I get what you're saying.
I told him about the
saying.
show. I didn't see him
understand
until
what
the
you're
show.
saying.
I didn't talk to
understand
him
what you're
until
saying.
my
I
friend
hear
went
you.
back to Raleigh.
I hear you. But at the same token, it was just like, okay, I feel you. Again, that's some sneaky shit.
I wasn't
No. You just said it, because you just said that you controlled your bladder in order to go to the bathroom to go speak to this dude.
I actually wasn't going to the bathroom initially. I was just going
But
to make sure this
you
guy was
held
okay.
it. You held
Oh, so
it.
you that's
Story
you
is shifting.
You see what I'm saying?
The story is
What we
shifting a
saying
little
is,
bit.
let's say I took all it's four
say.
women in here. Let's say I took one of y'all.
I didn't
out.
need to go to
No,
the
that's
bathroom actually.
That's
We're
right.
not
Whether it's-
hypotheticals. This is a
whether
real
it's,
thing
Katie,
I did like
it's
a week
Veronica,
ago.
It's Victoria. It's a young lady over here. And like Tico said, let's say the bare minimum is friends. And I see some woman over there who I really like and I'm vibing with. Out of respect, I'm not gonna disregard any of y'all to go deal with them. I'm not doing that. Because, like he said, it's time. I took time
Yeah, but
out.
if you said to me, so like in this theory,
Yeah.
right? You and I are out.
Right.
And we're out as friends.
As friends.
And I notice you noticing somebody, I'd be like, oh my God, go get her number.
Yes.
I want to cheer you on.
Exactly.
Well, that's different. That's
Right?
different.
So, but in
That's
this
different.
theory, lovingly, Victoria,
That's
in
different.
this theory,
I-
if we all communicate.
I tried.
Communicate, exactly.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I feel that because I tread lightly with this person, right? I really covet this person's friendship. And when this other person came to the cave, he was like, I could tell he was trying to encourage my time. And I said, I actually can't I can't hang out with you tonight. We can hang out another time. I literally gave him my number.
that's good job.
Okay,
Good job.
there's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah,
ending.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
ending.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
And then when my friend left, he goes, do you want to come back to Raleigh with me? And I said, not particularly. And I had a safe option to get back to Raleigh that wasn't this other person. And I also really liked the attention I was getting from this person.
Sure, that's fair.
He
Well, which
liked
person
hearing
was you
me
getting
talk.
attention from? Which one? Because which guy?
The one that you met that
Yes.
The
evening.
one she's
Okay.
met.
The new
When she
guy.
saved
Okay.
from the
Person
couple.
B.
Question.
Person B.
Yes.
Well, I think.
But the couple ended up coming to the cave. They were actually really hilarious.
No
Yeah.
one else had to be saved from them.
And
Yeah.
no, because they could talk to strangers enough
Quick question
there.
on this. Sorry to interrupt you. The friend that you came with, did he drive you all there?
Yes.
Was his expectation that he was going to drive you back?
He jokingly said it was a
and,
one-way trip from the beginning.
Yeah, jokingly, right? Like,
Yeah, but
and do you think that you meeting this person changed
No,
how
because
you left?
he had 3 beers and he was like, I'm going to drive back to Raleigh before I drink too much. I was like, well,
Had you already talked to the other guy?
a little bit.
Did
like,
he notice you talking to another guy?
Yeah, but I told him, I was
So
like,
he,
hey,
so
our
he was
friend's
already
here.
upset by the time he left.
He didn't seem upset, but
he
he
was
also
upset.
always seemed sad.
Okay, and now
Depression's
quick
real.
follow up,
depression is
real quick.
You're right.
This is a mental health moment.
What do you value about this friendship?
Yes, values. Yeah.
I don't know. I value that this person knows how to take initiative for things that we're gonna do. He's really good at late night hangs with bands and fun stuff, so he knows I like to hang out with
So
musicians.
taking you out is
Not
that fair to
necessarily
say?
taking me out. I mean, I think I've never met that energy with him. Like, oh, just take me out to eat. It's like, hey, I'm going to this show. Do you want to come with me?
Then
Right.
This is weird to me. This is so weird. And recently, I have come to the conclusion, like, it's amazing that people would give their time and space to strangers, but when you have like friends that really like trying to get to know you and really want to be a part of you, you know what I'm saying? That you wouldn't give them that chance of being.
Well, sometimes friends
romantically.
manipulate you.
I mean, why? So do people that you meet, strangers, do the same thing?
I think
you know.
yeah.
So I'm just saying. So I've learned, because you know I've gotten older, and that it's not about. When I was younger, it was about the hunt. You feel me? It was about the hunt. It was about the go out and go seek and find new prey, right? But as I get older, it's like, yo, I mean, TLC said it. Stay in the waters that you used to. If you know somebody, that knows you, no, listen. If you know somebody that knows you as a friend,
Such a gift.
why is it? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you
it's
want
great.
that? Because when you get like I guess the end goal would be like to get married or be with a life partner.
Maybe.
I mean, just to be with a life partner. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you one thing: being 53, you don't want to die old, and you don't want to die by yourself.
True.
Yeah, but you don't
And
want to die.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to buy. I'm telling you for real.
Yeah.
You don't want to die by yourself. So you can sit here and bounce from relationship to relationship and this, that, and the other, trying to find the perfect one. But all that takes is work, right? If you build down and you sit down and be like, yo, he knows me or she knows me, and she knows my fault, she knows my flaws, but yet still hanging with me, still chilling with me, knowing that I've done some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yo, why wouldn't you want to build something with somebody that knows you? Now, and I get it, the aesthetics of somebody having to look good and this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is, when you get older, shit pops off. Your fucking titties are gonna drag. Your fucking titties are gonna hang. They're gonna hang so low they fucking look like kneecaps. I'm telling you, this shit is fucking crazy. And when you get older, you have to start figuring out like part.
Stop saying older.
I'm just talking about myself.
But that
I'm talking about
vulnerability,
me.
what you're talking about, that
Right.
vulnerability is so hard for folks, right?
Right.
Especially when we don't know how to communicate,
Okay.
right?
That's why you.
Yeah.
That's why you got to communicate.
And I
No,
also
no.
wanted to go back to that video, like to zoom us all the way back.
before the video,
Yeah.
sorry, and then I'll give you. Wafeeq, you had
Yeah.
something to say. So
Yeah,
you're
quick question.
holding your hand up.
Because I need to be caught up here
Yeah,
and
I'm
figure
sorry,
out what's going on. So, help me out here, Victoria. You went out with a friend,
I left Raleigh with a person in his car.
okay, but he's your
A friend.
right?
Yeah, a friend.
And then when you
A very
went to
not romantic friend.
okay, and then when you went to the cave, you saw someone else that you are interested in.
No, I went
being-
to dinner, and at dinner there was a situation, and we all met, and that's when I mentioned we were going to this cool show at the cave, and this person who I'd met at dinner was like, "Oh, maybe I'll see you there."
But you
Okay.
met them at dinner because you went up to them.
No, I
to
met them
talk
at
to
dinner because they were sitting behind us. We both, my friend who I was there with, both him and I met because we had this whole thing had been a scene for our entire
Right, no,
meal.
I'm just trying to clarify the details because it sounded like you said that you saw a guy at the bar, walked up to him, offered to buy him a shot.
No,
or
there
did I
was a
miss
thing
it?
that's
before
what
that.
No, the
There
thing
was a
before that was like we had watched this couple attack them for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
While we ate our food, and when I went, I was like, I'm gonna use the ladies' room, and I was just gonna go like make sure I looked cute for the cave, right? Who needs to look cute for the cave? So when I saw the guy sitting there, I was like, oh, are you all right, dude? I thought he had left. I thought he had left the building because this couple was now sitting at the whole
Yeah.
table. And then I was like, do you need a shot or something?
Were you
And then-
attracted to the guy when you saw him?
I mean, until he stood up.
Yeah,
What?
but
Say
see,
that again?
for my benefit, so I can follow this. I've already moved to the cave. I understand you were out with a friend, so now we're at the cave, and after your evening with the friend concludes, you hang out with this guy you're more romantically interested in. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't romantically necessarily interested in, but yeah, the guy was really into me. He'd never seen anything like me before. Ooh. So
Okay.
A bartender of 11 years at dinner.
yes,
Sorry,
Katie.
I don't mean to. You're pretty
Victoria's a
special.
dime.
All right. And so now the end of all of this.
I love
is
your self-confidence, by the way. I love it.
The
Yeah, it's
friend-
good.
He told me that.
Good.
And now the end of this is the friend is upset because you didn't hang out with him more.
No, Arturo's upset with my, for
Arturo
my
is-
friends.
I'm not
on the-
upset. I have no.
It is a little shitty on
because
on
the
my-
story has shifted as you've told it. So
yes,
that's why I
because
wanted
I
to dig
didn't get a
into
chance
it,
to
you know,
keep
like-
talking because of these
Interruptions.
male perspectives
Just trying to get
and
a
that
feel
are
now.
valid. Okay, I
get a
get
feel.
it. I feel bad for my friend, and even when this guy came up to me, I was like, "Look, my friend's gonna go to Little Joel's if you try to get my number here."
Yeah, and the only reason why I dig into it because sometimes we fall into patterns, and this is a story that I've heard before with a different person. from
Yes,
me.
because if a guy wants to hang out with me, it doesn't mean I have to fuck him, but he still gets to hang
yeah,
out with me.
you
if
want
I
to go to
enjoy his
dinner
time.
later? I'll buy your food.
I got one.
Yeah, but
I
it
got-
doesn't mean you're entitled to my whole evening,
I'm not
Arturo.
saying-
I have-
yeah, I know. I gotta watch if you go
That
to the
costs a
bathroom.
lot
you know?
Ain't it
extra.
just an
I
economic
got one
justice
question.
issue, though?
Victoria, if he's truly just a friend, and he's not into you like that, he wouldn't get mad if you gave your number to
I
somebody.
don't know if he's mad. He hasn't responded to my message.
But you said
Oh.
But you said you just said he might get mad.
But it's
It's okay. We'll
Let's
just
go.
cleanse our palate. You
Yeah,
know,
let's
we
close-
understand
Yeah.
the situation.
Can I give my
we'll get
opinion on it
back
real
to it.
quick?
Yeah, we'll fake. Let's go.
Just to
Dating
wrap it
a
up.
single mom is muddy waters.
So-
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Based on what I'm understanding, you go out with a friend, and along the way, later on at the cave, someone you're interested in is there in a more romantic sense. And then when the evening concludes with the friend, you hang out with the guy who you have a more romantic connection with.
Yeah.
So I fail to see what the problem is. I
Agreed.
understand we're
Right.
getting a lot of opinions here, and I know Tico, you're very you're more animated about this, but I don't understand what the problem is. I don't see what
I'm not-
Victoria did wrong.
I'm not sure
I
either,
feel
but
like-
I also want to say like nothing really happened with this new person.
Okay.
Except we just vibed.
All right.
And I genuinely like to chase those feelings in my life. Like if I'm gonna meet somebody once in my life, like yeah, I'm gonna stay later. I have a way back to Raleigh. I'm like, can you bring me back
Okay.
to Raleigh? I can get
Now,
I can
Victoria,
get Uber
we
back to Raleigh.
got that, but let me conclude here so we can move on. I understand. I don't see what the problem is with what Victoria did, because if we have a friendship, it's not romantic, then I assume that you're welcome to speak to anybody else because we're hanging out as friends.
Right.
I think if this guy is upset, then he should take a look at how he defines friendship and how he communicates. I know she said many
Yes.
times, at least 4 times. This is why it's important
answer,
to
people.
communicate from the beginning. And I've
Amen.
been an advocate on this show from the beginning. When you meet someone, go ahead and determine exactly what it's going to be. I'm not
Exactly.
I'm willing to get into a relationship right now. I just want to be meet different people, or say I'm looking to get married or something like that from the very beginning. And people say, well, if you do that, you're going to cut your options off because they're not going to like it. That's perfectly fine. That keeps everybody away from wasting their time. This gentleman should learn to communicate his feelings with you better so that you can make an informed decision about how your relationship is going to go.
Just ain't
And
on
he can
him,
make-
dog. Just
Right.
on him.
I
She has
also-
to do the same thing.
Yeah,
she has
go
to let
both
her.
ways.
she has to
Yeah,
do
but
the
we
same
also
thing, bruh.
get to
So-
get to like I mean, yes, I agree with you. And you get to if you change your mind along the way, right? Because some people are like, I just see you as a friend, and then you spend more time together and you're like, oh, is that what this is? These are these feelings. And so like exactly right. And so you get to change it, but like we're all in charge of ourselves and our boundaries. And
Yeah,
so
right.
if someone says to you like, hey, I'm just interested in you as a friend, and you're like, okay, I'm cool with that. And then you're out on this date and she's talking to somebody else, like you get to be like, okay, I get to decide how I act here. Am I going to be upset about this and make it her problem? Am I going to be upset about this and like journal it? Am I going to, right? Like we get to figure out what we're going to do. And I think that having the ability to like name what's going on and then be like, okay, and I get to choose if I still want to hang out with this person, knowing that I have
Exactly.
feelings for her
Exactly.
and she doesn't have feelings for me.
Yeah, that's how adults communicate things.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna use man Tico
Except
here
for when you're
and one of
sad.
his castmates, Keisha, right? Keisha.
Yeah.
We all go well long back, and they are truly friends.
Yeah.
Platonic. These two could go out somewhere to a show just like they did. If Tico want to go holler at another woman or she want to holler at another man, it is what it is.
Right.
He ain't mad, she ain't mad. And that's been established.
For years.
And that's what adults have to do.
Yeah,
And adults don't do that. And I'm 52, he's 53. We all adults are here.
Well, I didn't get laid anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, I didn't
No,
know. I know.
that's
And I know that's
okay.
what you wanted, but that's cool.
And I
was
want to
joking.
clarify
No, I have a
that. By the
question
way,
for
I'm not saying that you did anything wrong.
Right,
Right.
right,
Nobody's
right.
saying here that
But
you
you're
did anything
noticing a
wrong.
pattern.
Nobody's saying anything
Right,
wrong.
like
Right,
you know,
exactly.
here we're.
I get one free meal every 6 months.
We're here to bridge understanding, right? Like you know, sometimes within ourselves, right? It's very difficult sometimes to see. Sometimes, and even your friend Katie, right here next to you, she's like, "Hold on a second, right?" And then I ask, and repeating patterns, right? If we want certain things, sometimes it's difficult for us to get out of our own way if we
Yeah.
don't notice the patterns that we fall into. I don't think there's anything wrong. With Wafeeq's point, he should have clarified it, right? Like
Clarified, yeah.
you know, like if this had happened before, you know, I've been that guy and I see you talking to that guy. Guess what? When you come back, I'm gone. You know, like see ya. You know, like no problem. You know, like you need to set your boundaries as well. But I appreciate your vulnerability and you being willing to. openly talk
Atul,
about
Thank you. They're both not going to talk to me after this.
I told her one quick thing. I wanted to respond to that first video because I saw that the other
Yeah,
day
and then you had something on that.
about the lady going on a date.
Yeah.
And I just want to add my 2 cents. I think that was just usury. If you go on a date with a man like
Usury.
that, and I'm gonna put myself in that position. Let's say I bring a lady on a date and she order what she wants. That's fine. If she comes to me and say, "Dink, I got some kids at home. Can I order them something?" I have a heart of gold. I'm like, please go ahead. I know it's like to be a kid hungry. I also know, I got women in my family who's been single mothers, including my mom at one point. So I would have no problem doing it. But it's not what you do, it's how you do things.
It's a sneaky
Yeah,
thing.
not asking for it.
So if you go to I'm gonna use any man. I don't care what race they are. You say, hey,
You know, and then they wonder why people get murdered, why women get murdered. You know.
well, I ain't go that far. I'm not go that far, but I would say if women say, hey, I love to date, but I'm struggling at home. Can I, I don't have the money. Can I order something for my kids? I'm gonna say this, and I probably speak for a lot of men. Yeah. Most men will say, hey, I have no problem with that. I'll pay for whatever. Most men would do that. But when you do it in a sneaky way,
that's when it feels crappy.
That's when it feels crappy.
Okay, is it
that's
sneaky,
when you're
or
deceptive.
did he just go to the bathroom?
No,
yeah,
he went
but
to the
you
bathroom
get
and then
to
she
that feels
ordered.
non-consensual, right?
Most-
Like even if
right.
that was timing, like,
It
and then
does-
he comes back and she doesn't say anything until he gets the bill. That feels gross.
But I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
that's
with one better than
kinda
that. I remember
sneaky.
years ago, and I met this girl in your state, South Carolina, down in Charleston. I was in the military. I met this young lady, and we were on a date. I was like in my early 20s. I was still in the military, and I knew she had a couple kids. And she said, I would love for you to take me on a date, but my kids need to be fed. We don't have a lot of food. I said, I tell you, I do one better. I'm gonna go to the store. We're gonna have a cookout, and that's what we did.
Exactly.
And that's how men operate.
right.
We are simple. 1 + 1 is 2 with men. We're not hard to figure out.
I can't feed nothing that I ain't gonna see.
There you go.
Yeah.
And guess what, ladies? The people that are watching this, all men, just because we take you out, we don't want no sex from you right then and there.
Yeah.
We really don't. Because trust me, a lot of men have been on dates with women, and we were like, man, after this date, we are not interested in you or your body because that's how bad the date was, okay? So for the record, all men, just because we spend money on you, we do not want what's between your legs. No, we don't. I know that's the
business.
You
perception.
want to feed us so we have the
It's
energy
business.
to open them.
Because we can go off of coffee, which I think all the people should do when they get to know somebody.
Exactly.
And we can determine right there over a couple dollars of coffee whether we like you or not.
Totally.
In fact,
I hope so.
we only have to do coffee. We like people at work. We like people at school. We like
Right.
people at the Dirty Bull. And we ain't spend no money on them.
That's
Right.
That's not recommended.
So
to fuck
money
them,
does
though.
not determine whether you like somebody or not. It's the chemistry that you develop
Right.
in that natural humanity of what we are as people.
It's just inflation is high.
That's
and
it.
I
Well,
am
that's
not
what I
trying
keep
to-
thinking about. That's what I keep thinking about. Like,
Bag of chips are $5.
That's it.
You think I'm? Yeah, I'm just.
no,
kidding.
but
my
honestly
great-
though,
my
I
father
think
here
that
agree
that's like. So my brain, it always goes macro, and I need to like bring it back down to the micro. But what I'm hearing in all of this, including this woman who in the video, who like it was very non-consensual, right? She had
Very.
opportunities to do it in a different way.
Very.
And
Very.
I feel like this whole thing is just an economic justice issue because
Right.
people, the fact that we are sitting here fighting over the crumbs of a bill to be like, I am owed this because I
Right.
took you out, and because I
Exactly.
took you out here,
That you know.
is like that's taking up all of our energy and also like setting up a weird fucking dynamic where we are against like the person we are sitting opposite this table at for a date because it's like, well, I asked you out, which means I am expecting to take the bill. But also if you ask for more of this because spoiler, you're struggling and a single parent and like that's
Preach.
a real issue.
Right.
Like we're instead tallying the receipt against one another, which is not to my mind how like a really nourishing relationship
Exactly.
grows.
Right.
Like
No.
that's not the fertilizer I want in that relationship nourishment. And also like we could be using this energy to like, I don't know, fight the system and fight for a
build
fucking
something.
living
Right,
wage
exactly.
so that
Right,
we're not having to
exactly.
fight over these crumbs.
I was in the military and I was
Which
blessed.
branch?
I was in the Army, 82nd Airborne Division,
That's awesome.
and I was blessed to go overseas to visit different countries. I think, and I'm talking about Americans, because we think we the best of they are, which I think we.
I don't
I
think
feel
we're
the
the
same way.
best.
No, I don't either.
But I will say this:
Some do.
I think Americans should go to other countries, and they should date. And I'm gonna tell you why. When I was in my early 20s, I was in Europe. I went to Germany. I went to Italy. Went all over. And people, they're straightforward with what they want in a relationship. There is no hidden agenda. Seriously, I would say 95% of the time, a European woman or man, they let you know what they want.
You've been to Germany, huh?
I've been to Germany. I've been
Do you
to every
think that's
country.
based on America's principles of like taking people's land and raping the women,
Or
and
just
killing
the
the
fear
No, no.
of sexuality in general and purity culture and like not knowing how to talk about it.
Even though I was a history major, I'm not going to history. I'm just talking about when
But
it comes to
modern love.
When it comes to the romantic of dating in Europe, even in the Latino countries, it's 1 + 1 is 2. It's not 7. It's I like you. Let's get together and let's go from there. The dinner and all that other stuff that comes later. There's no BS. We all know what we want. And they know what they want from us. It's only in America where everything is set in a hierarchy where money is involved. And I'm saying this as someone who was in Europe for like a year, and I went to just about every. Only country I didn't go to Europe was probably Russia. That's the only one I didn't go to.
You weren't in a hurry?
No, man, I'm glad I didn't go.
What you're saying makes me think about, and Victoria mentioned that we worked in hospitality, and one of the beginner nights of the whole year is Valentine's night. And it's because it's all set up with all these weird expectations.
Right.
And they're often like,
The ritual.
they're like strangers to each other. Like you're not even like a couple sometimes, or it's just all these weird things.
Well, it's a
and there are
cultural
people
thing.
that never go out
Right,
the
it's a
rest of the
cultural
year.
thing.
They
Well,
only
see,
go
it's
out
a
on
culture.
Valentine's.
See, America has a lot of cultural craziness that goes on with it.
Yeah.
Any of us can go to Europe right now. Y'all can find a man. We can all find
I know
one.
I can. That's my
I'm all set,
homeland, but you
actually.
know what?
I prefer not to.
No, it'll be
to
so
be
easy.
here.
And woman.
It'll be so easy. You would come back and be like, what the hell is going on in America?
Right.
Because it's totally different. I don't care your size, your shape, or whatever.
Every
It's
fucking
just totally
country's
different.
been colonized. So if you're trying to go somewhere else, sorry, baby, it's
I'm
not
saying-
gonna happen.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, stick to your roots.
And I have lived in a couple of different countries, and I gotta tell you, America does have the potential to be the best. And
It does.
I did not agree with all these
Potential.
people are fucking hating on goddamn America, especially if it's their only fucking country that they've ever lived
Well, let
in.
me just say
It's
this.
like you don't know what you have.
As someone that served this country, and I had to do some crazy. I saw some crazy stuff. And
I
a lot
don't
of
like that
atrocities.
word.
What's that?
Crazy. I don't know what it means.
Well, I served my country, and I was a puppet for the country, so that the aristocrats could do the things they do.
All the stuff you
Keep
don't
our-
want to talk
keep our
about.
freedoms. So when you're in the
ain't trying to get
military,
shot.
we're nothing but puppets for the big people, and I'm not even talking about the federal government. That's the corporations.
Yeah, but let's try to stick to the point.
But
Not
yeah.
have meta conversations or
Well, yeah.
policing about whatever we're talking.
Oh, what we saying? I got
Yeah.
sidetracked.
We
Well,
lost
He
it.
went to the New World Order.
Like,
He went to the
and,
New
and
World Order.
we're gonna cleanse the palate.
New
but
World Order of love.
whenever
Yeah.
we can. in
Well,
this
love,
con-
yeah,
yeah.
Europe is
Hang on,
totally
hang on,
different.
Dick.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
New World
In this
Order.
conversation, right? Like, let's stick to what we're talking about.
Okay.
If all of a sudden we start having meta conversations or tone policing
Exactly.
about what was said, and then we're no longer talking about what was said, and we're having
Exactly.
tangential conversations.
Yeah, we don't-
Arturo, that was so attractive.
Yeah, we don't want to be ADHD
Um,
here. Yeah.
So
was
let's
sexy. I got
let's
wet
cleanse our
right there.
palate. I got a little video for you.
I got wet on that one. That was nice.
If a man rejects you and breaks your heart, don't fret. Not everyone has expensive taste. Hello again, it is me, your favorite sugar baby lifestyle coach, makeup guru, supermodel now, so travel influencer, food connoisseur, wild animal whisperer, and professional STEM instructor. Today, I will be teaching you how to talk to men the sugar baby way.
That's what you.
Oh,
that's what
my
you
coffee. It's rich, just like the men I like. If a man sees you without makeup and he says, "Oh, you look sick, you look tired," you should say, "Yes, I am sick and tired of having to pretend that it was your personality that won me over." If a man asks if you have a type, if you're into white men, Latino men, just say you have no preference, but you're not afraid to spice things up with a little blackmail. If a man asks if you're into astrology, just say that you prefer to avoid signs of financial insecurity. Now, always remember, life's a bitch. Marry rich. Go find rich husband, baby.
We'll start around the table with
love it.
Wafeeq.
Yeah, that's hilarious to me. That's funny. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
pretty funny
That's a
skit.
good one.
Right,
man.
she's
Yeah.
good, right?
Who is she? I bet she's a comedian somewhere.
That sugar baby thing. She
I
hit
bet
that
she's
thing
smarter
right
than
on
that.
point.
She's probably just getting laid.
I think. What did you think about that?
I love
video?
it. She told the truth in a comedic way. I love it.
Right? Yeah, it was good.
The
really
truth.
cool.
I thought that, you have to go back and look into sugar babies, man, and know exactly what that is. I'm not going to explain it. Google it, youngsters. So
Yeah. Have you
it's
ever
just-
had a sugar baby?
No, but I've had earwax in my ear and used a Q-tip and pulled out a sugar daddy.
How dirty were your ears, man? You dumb.
Dude, hey,
gotta
the Carol
ruin that
Larens, I
candy
just
for
had
you.
to bear
Stupid
it together. But sugar mama, man. It's weird because
Angle your mic a little bit. Make sure you're talking.
It's weird because I've had older ladies, which are, I'm like, I'm 53, so you talking like 59 and 60 up, come up to me and like, yo, this is the line that I get from older women. Hey, how you doing? You look nice. My house is clean. I can cook. My pussy clean. You can come over, but you got to leave before the sun come up. You see what I'm saying?
Direct.
And so it's really direct of exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a crazy situation.
So you are not the sugar daddy.
No,
then.
I'm not the sugar daddy.
You're the
at
sugar
all.
baby.
I'm the sugar baby. I'm the sugar baby.
He's sugar cookie.
May we all be.
But I didn't go because I was getting to go because I was intimidated. I was scared. That's a scary situation. I feel you, ladies. That's some scary shit.
Awesome. Victoria, what did you think
I
about
thought that was adorable. A little horrifying and maybe too close to home for me. But I like to call it stepdad tryouts. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to want to feed my kids and feed the mom?
How many do you have?
And take me on vacation.
And not getting any pussy while they do
And
it.
let me sit on their face.
Well, Victoria, how many kids do you have?
Wink.
2.
Oh, that's not bad.
With the same guy, so don't worry.
That's cool.
Katie, what
Doesn't matter.
Don't worry.
Came out the same hole.
I have 2
Doesn't
kids
matter.
from
Came out
different
the same
dads.
hole.
Oh, damn. Did you just slut shame your friend next
First
to
of
you?
all, the span of which she had them is very different from mine. If I had 2 kids within 3 years, you should be maybe not concerned, but like, girl, are you for the streets? You can push your little button now.
What's the appropriate number of
Victoria.
years between having children with different
I
parents
think
that you
appropriate
think is
for
acceptable?
who? Like for me,
I don't know. You're the one
I
that's
can
making
have
the
a kid-
judgment
these
call.
rules.
I can have a kid every 11 months with different person, but does it mean that the person I had kids with initially didn't step up to give me the second child within the 2 years? That
Well, the
would-
reason
that
why
meant.
why I'm asking is because you painted it in the sense, just a moment, you're like,
Other
kid, no,
people-
wait. Kids by the same dad, and then you said, Katie, oh no, she had plenty of time between them, right? So in there's an implication that there is a time that is too short between, and I want to know what that time is.
I think if you have children under the age of 3 with 2 different fathers, it could be very complicated emotionally, and people worry about that for other people. So when I was pregnant as a cocktail waitress and I had a young child, people would often ask me if the tequila was bad for the baby and if I had the same dad. It's,
What? Tequila was bad for the baby.
yeah,
That's
if
funny.
the kid was the same dad. It's a very common conception
feel
as a
you.
cocktail waitress. People think you're a slut. People
Yeah.
think that you're getting drunk by holding the tequila. So it's both these inferences are annoying, of course.
thought
And
it
I
was
meant,
only black people
I
ask
meant,
that shit.
I meant like it's okay. Don't worry. Not for people that have kids. Like it's fine if you want to. If you know, whatever. But sometimes that means you couldn't afford the abortion, which is a really frustrating.
Or you live in a
situation.
state where you
Well, see,
can't
that's-
get
Can't
it.
get an abortion.
She's definitely a comedian.
So
Grandma Flood.
if we're gonna have the bigger discussion here,
350 is a lot.
Well, we're not gonna be. Listen, I know you want to talk about colonization and fucking all this bullshit. No, we're gonna
all
talk
this
about here about
bullshit.
dating and relationships. Okay.
I got 4
Um,
kids.
well, the only reason I'm here is because my mom colonized my father. So you're welcome.
What you want?
She went to
Well,
Europe and got
well,
a European husband.
Yeah, so I told you, colonizers are everywhere. So
Yeah,
good
they
luck.
are.
I am
That
the
is-
byproduct of two.
They are everywhere.
Sounded like you said colonizers.
Yeah,
Colonizers.
Colonizers.
Colonizers
It's
love
a
cunnilingus.
subliminal message. You know,
He's from the Netherlands. Okay. My mom was his waitress.
Katie, what did you think about this video?
Well, when I first was watching it, I thought it was real, and then I thought that was sad. But also, it's okay if everyone's consenting, so I'm also fine
Yeah.
with that. But when she was joking around, yeah, she did a good job with that.
Absolutely.
Did your improv heart explode there?
I just judged it actually.
And Veronica, what did you think?
I thought it was funny.
That
I
dirty
thought it was
whore.
funny, and if it were real, I'm like, get yours. If everyone's into it, if everyone's like on board, yeah, be that sugar baby. Be the sugar baby you wish to see in the world.
If a man willing to spend money, what we talking about?
Man,
it don't
it's
matter.
not- look,
Right.
it's-
I also liked her slight Russian accent. Like she
That
could
was
have
a
been-
nice touch.
Yeah, it
She
was
could
a nice
have
touch.
been mail ordered, and she
Ooh,
just.
there's
I
a
mean,
lot there.
it's a
assimilated.
Maybe that's
Sure.
what your friend needs. It's like, $300 for a night. He can get a sugar baby and bang her out. And he's already spending the money anyways.
Yeah,
That's
but
it-
dinner
a
and
call,
drinks for
girl.
me cost way less than that, and I'm
That's a
still
call,
his
girl.
friend.
Well, a
And
sugar baby will bang you out for $300 per
right,
day.
but if you're friends with me,
They're
then
they're pretty pricey sometimes.
Yeah, they're
sometimes
pretty
it's,
pricey.
have you seen the documentary?
Look,
Sugar
man.
babies
Well,
are
that depends-
pricey.
documentary?
I
Yeah,
think
depends
we're
on
looking
how
at
documentary
now.
Depends on how good you look.
Well-
Because I, in my mid-30s, for 6 months, was a sugar daddy. And
I can see that too.
Low budget.
well, I was not really a salt daddy quite, but I was
Salt?
young. I was, young, attractive. I was a good time, and I've talked about this on the podcast before. But every time I move from a place, I always find that I meet somebody right towards the end that I don't want to leave for.
Timing.
And this time I was 100% certain that I didn't want any of that shit. So I'm like, well, what am I going to waste my time and money just dating around, finding chicks to go out on dates? When I could just be like, I'm going to go out with this girl, and that's a deal, as they call it, a mutually beneficial relationship. Yeah. And I knew that if I didn't want to, I didn't have to call them. I didn't have to call them during the week. I didn't have to do this bullshit, you know? Like,
and that's how you fall in love.
I wanted them to be real because in the sense, like, I gave them that opportunity, and we had some great times. So then I moved and never fucking talked to them again. So
I'm gonna tell you something with a wise man.
They watch every video you're ever on.
My wise man told me, which was my grandfather who died when he was 96 years old. He told me this when I was like 15 years old. I don't know why black men, they tell their kids stuff that we don't really understand.
And sorry to interject real quick. But be a sugar daddy when you don't need to be one, because I could still go out on dates and get banged out, bang
I know
chicks
exactly
out and everything.
What he's talking about.
But it just made it and that experience was like, well, I don't have to deal with any of the bullshit. I don't actually have to it's just it's almost like on demand. It's almost like on demand girlfriend experience. I don't have to text her. I don't have to message her. I don't have to do all this bullshit. It's just like we set the dates and we go, and that's it. We have the fun for that night, and everybody goes on the merry way, and super enthusiastic.
Yeah,
that's
why
you banged it out.
Like I said before, like in the hood, that's called prostitution.
Let my grandfather told me. He told me at 15 years old.
Prostitution.
He died. He told me that the best pussy is paid pussy. So if you're gonna be a sugar daddy, have at it.
Wait, the best pussy
I wouldn't do it now.
My grandfather told me the best pussy is paid pussy. It's more to that, but I have to go into it. But yeah, I told that joke on stage and I went deep into it. But it's true though. Paid pussy is the best pussy.
Meaning
sex is a skill.
He paid for it.
Yeah, because he was saying it more from the standpoint if you
know what you're getting,
sugar daddy, you know what you're getting, or if you're married. If you paying somebody, she ain't gonna fuck up your marriage. But if you out here fucking around with some woman you ain't paying for that pussy with your side piece, she gonna fuck up your marriage.
Yeah.
So paid pussy is the best pussy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Best for who?
I have another video for you.
For everybody, for the whole game.
Everybody. I mean, you're paying for it. Everybody.
Well, if you're Tico,
say you're fucking up your own
wins.
marriage.
if you're Tico, apparently you're friends because he's like, yo, bag this girl out too. I don't have good friends like you,
I was
Tico,
raised by some skilled grandfathers and fathers. I got the knowledge of the game, but it's truthful though. It's very truthful. It's not wrong with being a sugar daddy. If the sugar daddy wants the young girl to benefit his needs and the money takes care of her and her 3 kids or whatever, have at it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why I love OnlyFans. I don't judge no woman. Do what you got to do, baby girl. I can't judge you. Only that man upstairs can. Or
especially because there is, a difference, at least, in straight, cis relationships or whatever. And I don't know, I can't speak to the others. There is difference in what men find attractive and what women find attractive.
Exactly.
Right? So I
don't see what the big problem is. If one person, if they both equally get what they want from it, who cares?
I'm gonna tell you the problem. The
equal.
problem with me is price. Like price gouging is fucking crazy.
It is.
That's why I'm running for office.
So like when I was I went to Vegas and I was married at the time, and my ex-wife was like, she had to go somewhere, and I was delayed. And I told her, I said, yo, I'm going to go throw some axes, and I'm going to go to the bunny ranch. Right? She was like, she knows me. You know what I'm saying? She knows me. She was like, I only had enough, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know it was that far out. By the time I got there, I really had to, turn back around and go. But it was interesting, you know what I'm saying, concept. You go in there, I'm sitting here having drinks with these ladies, and I'm just having conversations with them. In my mind, I'm not going to have sex with these women because the price is fucking crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How much are we talking?
$2,500.
We talking okay, so
we're talking like with that.
So you talking like blow jobs, just like a blow job, and they got like combos. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like going to Wendy's. You know what I'm saying?
Tico, tell the
combo.
Tell the truth, Tico. Tell the truth, Tico.
I can't really give you prices on how, because
How
me
good
my
it feels?
personally
The
personally
roundup.
yeah, exactly, because you had it's Le Carte. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty much it's Le Carte. So I sat and I had a couple of drinks and I just had conversations with women, just talking about yo, this is crazy, how blah blah blah, yakety yak, and then I came back home, but.
Your mind was loaded. You're like, I got
yeah,
that
but I got that in my head. But see, I just wanted to see it. And my wife at the time, she knew that, what I'm saying, that I'm stupid like that, you know. So it was
Wait,
a good.
did she think you were going to act on it, or did she think you were just going to go there and meet the
No,
woman?
I would never. I would never do that. I would never do that without her there.
So then, did you pay her $2,500 to suck your dick when you got home?
Who, my wife? No, on the divorce, I won that. Anyway, we'll go, we'll go back on
that's super
something else. We'll go to something else.
Yeah, going to the ranch and his wife knew that he wasn't going to act on it. I just don't know. I feel like
No, for real, like for real, no, for real.
Yeah,
like if you have that conversation, like for real, I'm type. If you have a conversation, and you know the boundaries, you know what it is. If I'm with you and we're married, and you know that we like to swing, right? And you're saying, okay, I know that you like women, and I know that you like dudes, but I might feel uncomfortable with you out there going by yourself, sleeping with somebody. But if you bring that person into the fold, I'm cool with that. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to have that respect. If somebody's giving you that, then you have to respect the boundaries that come with it, right? It's just like, yo, okay, if
All right,
you have an open relationship,
take a minute to take a breath and think of your next thought, man. You can run it straight.
Take a breath. I think of the next Hypergamy.
But let's cleanse our palates here.
I like this dude. He said some crazy.
He
stuff.
said crazy.
Let the women say on this.
We'll start.
Ask the women about that.
We'll start with you, Veronica. What do you think about that video?
She's in the bathroom.
It makes me sad. I think that. I feel like I need to watch it again. There was so much in such a short amount of time.
Let's watch it again.
We'll play it again. Play it again.
Watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're actually loving someone for real if you're loving them idealistically. I don't think that that's loving somebody for real. Also,
But that's not what the argument is. Like,
yeah, he said like men love. Yeah, isn't that what he said? Men love women for real. Men love women from an idealistic standpoint.
But if it's you, by you saying that, is that not saying that? Is that not kind of like proving that there is a difference in how
they love each other? Because I don't think I struggle to believe that women love men from an opportunistic standpoint. I think that given the systems in place and like the harm that people continue to do to each other, it doesn't feel like an opportunistic thing to choose to love a man. It feels like willing to work through a lot of bullshit.
So I'll ask a couple questions.
It's how I feel. That's my personal value, and I recognize that. Right, and that's not. Let me caveat. Like, that's not because it is a man's fault that like I think that the gender roles we've been given fuck everybody up, and no one gets to be their fullest, most authentic whole self.
True that.
So I think for anyone to choose to love another person is to be digging through and unlearning a lot of that bullshit. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think loving someone idealistically is loving them really.
Well, let me touch on a couple of things there, and thank you for your insight. Can people in a society be their whole most authentic selves? Because otherwise, how do you live together? Because there's gonna be like, that's how we build society up, right? By letting certain things and having certain things that we all agree to, right? So I don't know if the premise that we live our most authentic self. I think it's maybe a privilege out of the comforts that we have within our own society. Because if you think about it, like if somebody's like, I'm a P word and I want to be my most authentic self, we don't agree to that, right? Like, but wait, we'll get to you, right? And the second part, right? Like when you were dating men, question for you, did you like to date men that were taller or shorter than you?
Both.
And what was the majority?
I didn't date that many men before I started dating women.
What was
so
the majority?
I think it was an even split.
Okay, so they were okay. Did you want them to make more or less money than you?
They were all broke.
They were over, so you made more money than them.
No, I mean, I was in college, so none of us were making money.
Who made more money?
Truly, none of us were making money. We were full-time students.
Okay, so everything is equal. This is interesting. Okay.
I hear you. I hear what you're getting at, right? I hear what you're getting at, right? Like even if you disagree with the gender roles that exist in the world, they run so deep that you still fall into being like, no, I want them to be this way.
Yeah, I mean, we evolved
Yeah.
out of like primal things. We have a reptilian brain, right? Like they are just from even society coming together, right? There are certain things that just originate. Not that I'm saying that they should have or shouldn't have, right? Like what it should have, and is that the most effective way? But no. And thank you for your insight. And that makes sense. And you may be an exception to the rule, right? Like,
I might be.
Props to you for giving Short Kings a chance.
I have a question for him.
Yeah.
So you say that loving someone idealistically is false, right?
I wouldn't call it real love. I guess I would ask, what does idealistically mean to them? I think I have my understanding of idealistically is like only seeing the best of a person. And I think, or loving the idea of a person. And
right.
I think we are more complex than the idea someone might have of us.
I think what he means is like that men love women for, I like this girl. I like how she makes me feel. I may be attracted to her.
That's true.
Not so much focus on what they bring to the table.
Yeah, because as men, we like to, I shouldn't say conquer, but that's kind of how we are made. So when we
colonize is the
we're
word
colonized.
we're using, yeah.
So when we get with the woman, and like you said, they meet everything we like in an idealistic standpoint. We do anything for them. Whereas with women, sometimes it's based off your value. However, we all can make an argument. There's a lot of women that love men who didn't have nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I would have to
right.
kind of.
That's right.
I would have to say, and I don't care what race you are. I know
Right.
white women, black women, Puerto Rican women, Asian women,
We got
been
it.
by
That's
men
racist.
who want
Right.
shit, then have money, stay with them till they got this on their feet. So we all can say that. So
Right.
that's why
Right.
that part I
Right.
can't really get down with when he talk about women love men for value, because a lot of women that built their men from ground zero
Yeah.
until they became the president, like Hillary and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And let's and did you have a follow up to your question?
Yeah, because I think that, and everybody's gonna get a chance to chime in.
Yeah. We're gonna go around the panel. Yeah.
So I think it needs clarification what your understanding of idealistic is, and I appreciate that you gave that, because when I heard you say loving someone idealistically is false, that's not real love, I was thinking, well, wait a minute, because my understanding of idealistic is you're going in with the idea that we are going to succeed. I'm going in thinking, you know what? Start from ground zero, clean slate, not going to hold anything against this person based on my past. I'm going in thinking we can succeed.
Oh
as a
yeah, I
couple.
think that's what you just described sounds like real love. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So we saw idealistically.
Yeah, I just
differently.
needed that clarification.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Katie, what did you think about that video?
First thought is generalizations like that are just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's so individual every time.
But question on you, like if you take the aggregate of everybody, do people now usually have a normal bell curve distribution on things often? So that's what generalizations happen, right? We make these are all abstract and arbitrary, but we make distinctions, right? What's
Sure.
the difference between the color green and blue?
Exactly.
Well, we agree to it, right? So I agree with you, and we're not talking about the exception here. We're talking about the general
Right.
rule, and that's what we're talking in generalities.
Right.
So then that being said, I kind of disagree. I know that there are people out there that are like that. There's men like that. There's women like that. And I think that probably women do get more wrapped up in the idea, almost ideal, but idea of this. I still mourn the loss of this one relationship that I do not want anything to do with the guy itself. But what I still mourn the loss of is what I thought it was.
Oh, that's a good point.
And so I still think about that, like, oh, I could be in this relationship doing all this wonderful creative stuff and all this, and I'm just like, yeah, but you'd have to be with him, who he turned out to be. So
right.
I think, I think that can just go both ways that way. I do think that we are all fall victim to how we were raised, which was a survival thing. My grandmother, gave my brothers the second pork chop. We waited on the guys. The guys did.
Question for you, real quick.
Yeah.
now that you're back in the market, you know, like you're greased up, you know,
Sit
ready,
back in the
you
water.
know,
She lubricated.
would you date somebody that made less than you?
I ask myself that because it wouldn't be ideal, but I would. I 100% would.
Stop the cap.
Now, if he's makes less money than you, are you still ordering the most expensive thing on the menu?
No.
No, okay.
That's a good one.
On all these dates that you've gone on, what percentage of men do you think made less than you?
Maybe one.
Okay, and this is the reason why I like to ask. Right?
I'm unemployed, though.
Because in our perception, right, this goes back to the burning building, right? Like
She's looking, but
we
not,
don't like
you
to
know,
think that we go
not
inside
just
the burning
anything.
building,
Right.
And it's great as a hypothetical, right? But when it's in action, you know, sometimes, and I'm not saying it is, but right, like I think it's a good place to ask ourselves, or is this really what we would do, or is this just a story that we're telling ourselves?
True that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I feel like it needs to be clarified for you real quick. I'm just getting this vibe. Stop the cap is a slang phrase created by Generation Zers. Cap is the new way of saying lie. So when people say stop capping, it means stop lying.
Right.
So when he plays stop the cap, that was the implication that she's lying.
That I'm lying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
Well,
really
I know
meant,
that
it's not
only
really
'cause I have
meant
a
as
17-year-old,
It's not
but-
really as a lie. It's,
Yeah,
it's kind
that
of
was a
like
sweet
it's
little
like
mansplain,
it's
though.
bullshit. Kind of like
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of like it's bullshit. Come on, you know,
Yeah.
like it's a playful way.
Yeah.
So,
cute.
but when did you play it though? At what point?
Oh,
Was-
when you
was
said
it-
that you did.
Yeah. He throws it in as a comedic effect.
That I,
Yeah.
that
No, I
what?
believe her. I believe her.
Yeah.
I believe her because I.
Wait, which part did I? Did
No. I believe you. I'm just saying.
I don't remember when I
when
played
you
that.
said you would date somebody that you know make less than you.
Oh, that you would date someone that makes less than you.
I believe
yeah.
that because I don't want to get into that part. I just believe it. I'm just gonna say that. I just believe
Okay,
it.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a whole different topic.
She's a comic, you know. You're
But
more,
I do
more
believe you.
flexible. You know?
I do believe you.
Awesome. Thank you for your insight. And by the way, ladies, I hope that you don't feel like I'm, you know, digging in too much. I do like
No, you
to,
digging in, bro.
You know, like
Yeah,
sometimes
I'll
I hear things and I'm like, okay, if this is true, does this also hold true? And this is where I'll really seek to understand your viewpoint. And does that logic translate to do you use the same logic for other areas, right? So,
Right.
Well, I've noticed that you don't like deviating too much from what the original question is, but I can't help but think that there's a similar conversation about the money as far as looks, and that comes up now that I'm 49 and not as quintessentially beautiful as I was
Yeah.
in my earlier years. I notice it, and we talk about like your boobs aren't going to stay perky forever. Y'all said that
yeah,
earlier.
let's talk about that a little bit because I do like to just
No, they-
for the listener, right? Like if
Sure,
it just
sure,
goes
sure.
random, right? It's difficult to
I get
follow.
it. But
the
I just felt like
chapters.
it's similar because that can be.
What do you mean about looks? Like, let's talk about that.
Well, I just feel like it's similar in that, that was another point of what they're saying here, which I never did. I've never been with any guy that it didn't matter to him that I was attractive. Like it did. Every time, even though I was like, oh, they like me for my personality, they like my brain.
Yeah.
No, they always loved that show you off.
The
thing.
question for you is that something that you're like, as opposed to income, is look something that you're born with, or you have to work for it to get?
Well, nowadays I think you can definitely purchase it, but I think
Yeah.
traditionally it was more something that you
Right.
were born with.
And I'll provide some insight, and then we'll dig into it, and then we can dig into it later, right? But we had this conversation in a similar podcast last time, where it's like, okay, well, why is attractiveness a thing for men? Like, why is attractiveness a thing? Why is the mechanism behind why attractiveness is a thing?
Because you want to make babies that are pretty.
Okay, yes. And if you're looking at it from the male point of view, why would they be attracted? Why would certain traits, even age, be attracted to them? If you follow that, it's the potential fertility and the ability to procreate as animals that we are, right?
Right.
The value proposition on the other end sometimes, especially if we go to, you know, I like to think of the basic building blocks of Legos and how we got into this complex jumble of wires that we got into it. If men can have sex with multiple women and get multiple women pregnant at the same time. Women, not so much. And even when you are pregnant, you're gonna need some safety and security, right? Like I'm
And
not.
their
I'm
DNA
not saying this
lives
is
We
the
do
same.
know though that the egg does pick and choose. If there was two
Right,
different
but
sperms
that's not
coming
the
at it,
conversation.
they will pick. Okay.
right? Like
You're in trouble.
that's like a completely
Stop having an
segue. That's
idea.
a completely
Better than the
segue.
eggs.
Yeah, take your ADHD medicine. You know, like,
We're just an egg.
Look at the Toro. Look at the Toro.
but
Would you love me if I were an egg?
you too, please. And so I do think that this is a challenge, and like men get like this. But if we go down to the reason why these mechanisms flow out of, it's completely understandable why certain things are the way they are. And on the opposite end, right, to the attraction of like somebody that's maybe taller, stronger, whatever, is going to be able to protect me, maybe more resources that he can share with me and my particular offspring, right? That also makes sense why the attraction is on the other end, right?
Exactly.
Like so I don't necessarily fault them for it, right? And as well as you shouldn't, I don't think you should fault anybody who finds it attractive, especially why do you understand why those things, generated. Because we like to think that we're these evolved, like things.
Right.
And when we're conscious and active, yeah, we can make decisions. But what about your reflexes or your instincts or what you do when you're not thinking, when you're in autopilot?
Right. I mean, the bottom line is like what we're. The basis is we're mammals. We're animals, right? I mean, peacocks, males, they have big feathers. They flash them around. They got. I mean, it's there. Pheromones, everything. You know what I'm saying? It's those type of things that that attract people to people. Yeah. So if we ignore those type of things, I mean, that's just what it is. Yeah. I mean, to me, like BBLs and all that stuff like that. Men, we don't care about that shit.
Yeah,
we don't care about that.
Wait, what's a BBL?
Like a
Brazilian butt
Brazilian bug lift. We don't trust. We do not
they
care.
take fat and inject it into your
We
body.
do not care about
care
that.
about
We
that.
don't. And another thing, we don't care about women degrees either. That's not a criteria for us. We don't care about.
Yeah,
that.
and we're gonna get into that in a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
But Victoria, what was your reaction to that video?
Well, I don't know their heritage, but it seemed a little antiquated based on the vibe I got.
What was antiquated about it?
Look how she looked at her.
Because the video was just saying that the difference in
Yeah, but the way he was so aggressive about it, it seems like he's been taught that from a very young age.
let's say what's a white guy saying it, because I want to get on the message.
Here in general, and this is a new time. The past 5 years have changed every bit of our psyche, every bit of our knowledge. All of it has changed, right?
Well, I'll put it in a scenario that maybe brings it home. If that guy friend that took you out wasn't taking you out to eat or paying for anything or driving you, would you hang out with him?
First of all, he wouldn't have invited me. Then.
No. That's not the question.
I don't hang out with him. We don't hang out together. He's in a very sad place.
You do hang out with him.
And the fact he wanted to go do something and he wanted me as company and I wanted to go do something and I had the night off.
What if you said
it's
like I'll meet you there?
That's
and
not
then,
the question we're asking though.
No,
You're asking about this video and I'm saying we're navigating new waters.
The reason why I'm asking this question is because you're not answering the question about the video. You're talking about where he's from and antiquated things.
I'm just saying from our heritage wise, we're navigating new waters. I'm not
what
living my
what
mother's
is the
life.
video? What is the video about?
I think it's about what people think that they need or want in a relationship.
Here, let me play this video again because I want you to react honestly, and I'm not digging into you.
Yeah,
But
no, let's play it again.
You're like I'm asking you a question.
I can't actually even see it honestly from right here.
And your reaction to the video, and you're talking about where he's from. So I don't understand the segue there.
Arturo didn't play the internet bill. He can't play it again.
No, I had moved on to another video.
If you can
I didn't know that
reenact
we
it.
were-
I'm sorry.
I like that wig, man. Where you get it from, bro?
It's my ex-girlfriend's.
Okay, I like that. You're not Wild Bill from Hannibal Lecter, are
I did not
you?
expect
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Somebody left something behind.
Somebody left them behind, right?
Yeah, I'm still storing all her shit because she hasn't moved it out yet.
It's very, very
I just hope you're not wild like Wild Bill.
It's very,
There you go.
very falsity.
No. Right.
Men love women far differently than women love men. Men love women for real. Women love men. Women love men for real. No, they don't. Women love men under the premise that they provide value. Men love women idealistically. Women tend to love men more from an opportunistic standpoint.
Okay, so now in reaction to this video,
It
what
sounds
do you
like his
think?
parents were in an arranged marriage.
What'd she say?
Sound like they were in an arranged marriage.
It sounds like he's been hurt for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
like
No, but
there's a backstory of him, but that's a different.
yeah, but
Yeah.
look, once again, you're
but based
talking.
on what they're saying, I'm saying that there is a new world and that it's hard for everyone to understand. Yes, opportunistically, the men pay for more while the women are stuck being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen because that's as far as they can go with what the means they have.
Oh,
and
damn.
they have to take care of their children, right? And I feel like that there's not all bad things to prejudices, right? But a prejudice about what he just said feels weighted by his personal experiences and what he witnessed as a child and what he witnessed as an adult.
So
I
you
think
disagree.
it bothered all of us the way he just shut her down and
Yeah.
said, "No, it isn't.
It's not.
You don't. What
Yeah,
you're
that
saying
sucked.
doesn't count."
It
That
doesn't.
really sucked.
You know what I'm saying? And like I hear it. I don't want my parents' relationship, but that was what was modeled for me. So now that I'm navigating these new waters, yeah, it's hard for me to understand why my mother stayed with my father. But now that I'm a single mom, I kind of fucking get it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still mad at my mom because I think she deserves to feel the love that I want to feel one day.
Do you think that like, especially because you felt a different way now that you're a single mom, is there the possibility that you just haven't reached the understanding of why those things work, and maybe due to your own life experience you completely disagree with it?
I mean, I think that's the only reason anyone has an opinion about anything is because of how they live their life. So I have to agree to disagree with whatever you're saying.
And that's why we're here. That's why we
Right, that's
exchange
right.
ideas and life experiences.
So
and,
I'm saying,
know.
yes, it has definitely affected me, but it's also, there have been moments when I can step back and accept the way things are, or I can step forward and try to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that conversation to me didn't make a difference or step forward in any way.
So question about the conversation, and thank you for your insight. Do you agree or disagree that, men love women more idealistically, whereas women love men more on the value they can provide? Agree or disagree?
I cannot agree, so I guess I disagree.
Okay, thank you. Tico.
I
And by the
agree.
way, let me interject here for a second. I do think that there is a difference in how sometimes some men and some women communicate. I do think that men are very matter of fact about the content, where tonality and how it's said is very important to a lot of women. To the point that you were saying, I didn't, all the women here on this side reacted to that he cut her off, right? And I agree with you, right? You want to depend on the audience, meet people where they are, and this will probably come up with a lot of videos, right? So I just want to try to make that we focus on the content.
Fair.
Fair. Because otherwise we can have a conversation like, oh, why did you talk to me like that, Dink? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, well, why did you talk to me like that just now?
Well,
And then we don't talk about the actual thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tico.
Fair.
I believe that I think it has to be about what you experience in life and what you see. Again, I'm 53, so all I saw was grandmothers and grandfathers together. My mother wasn't with my father. I saw that, but I cherished my family's relationships. I saw these things, regardless of what happened, regardless of whoever stepped out or whatever, they still stayed together. And I think that when people sit here and they say, well, they stayed together, well, she didn't have another way to go out, or he didn't have another way to go. That's BS, because you can do that. Love is unconditional, man. Like, love, you have to love the faults in people. Right? Not only the good, but you have to love, if you know this dude is stepping out, he just loves women, but he loves you to death, he's making sure that your home is
There's
together.
a condition there.
Now, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. And he know, and you know that, you know what I'm saying, he's taking care of the home and this, that, and the other, but yet and still you know that, sex is just a physical thing. He's not loving this woman or whatever, but he's coming back home and taking care of the family. He makes sure the family is taken care of first, and whatever, right? That's the type of, I'm an analog dude in a digital world.
That doesn't mean you can
Now,
have a wife
listen what I'm
baby.
saying. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Because right now, because what you thinking about is what's popping like right now. Right now is the internet talking to everybody. It's the internet that's telling everybody that, okay, this is how things are supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be like. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. And a lot of people are starting to take those clicks and starting to think that, hey, this is reality, but it's not. This is a working thing. It's always work. It's always going to be work. Even when you're gonna hate the person that you're going to be with sometimes. But if that person is loving you the right way that you're supposed to be loved, you know what I'm saying? Over time, that stuff doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's about who's loving you, who's taking care of you, who has your mental capacity together, who has, you don't even have to say economically because right now.
Tico.
Sorry.
How do you feel about the video, bro?
I'm
I love
single forever now.
Do you agree or disagree?
No. I disagree to the simple fact that, you know what I'm saying, everybody loves different, and I think that you can find whoever you want to find as long as you know what I'm saying.
The video,
find what you're
Tico.
doing.
Yeah. So you agree or disagree with?
I disagree with what he's saying.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I know
for the fifth time.
This guy's
For the fifth time.
Also, he's 53 in case anyone missed that.
I got more knowledge than you all. So,
No,
you know what I'm
I
saying? I'm
appreciate
just
it.
saying.
We'll
That's
get
not how
into
age
it. I just want to make
works.
sure that we get through
I
it.
got you. I'm sorry. You got me drinking and
Do
you
it,
got me
baby.
drinking, so
Hey,
I'm
that's
talking.
it.
You know what I'm saying? So hey,
That's why alcohol is
Stop
good.
drinking then.
I can't stop. If I stop,
Stop
I might
talking.
start smoking. Anyway,
Dick, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this?
I agree with him in theory, but I do not agree with him in applied application. No, but because like I said before, I can point out plenty of women of different races and different creeds that do the opposite. They love their men because they love them. They want to have babies by them. They want to have a marriage. They want to have a relationship with them. I think with men, when we do love a woman, we go all out for them. When they say idealistically, I think he's referring to like if I'm with Katie, we together. You got 2 kids, whatever. We're gonna make this work. We're going all out. So I agree with him.
Get
in
a
theory,
third one,
But I don't agree with him in reality because
I like that you chose me. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it could be any one of y'all. But I'm just saying that. Yeah, he's right in theory, but not in application. Because I know plenty of men. We love a woman, we love them. We go all out for them. We don't care how they look, how they shaped, how many kids they have. We go all out. So I think his is more in theory. Yeah. And also, if you know that guy's history, that's a whole different discussion. You understand why he said. So
that's a quick follow up. Would you date a woman that you're super attracted to, but she works at McDonald's?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what men do. See, men, we don't mind marrying a woman,
ladies,
and bringing.
Absolutely.
Quick thing, ladies. Would you date a guy that like you're very attracted to, but he works at McDonald's?
No.
I'm trying to imagine myself.
But you got to come back to me on this.
Yeah. Or back in the day,
Why does he work at
Yeah,
McDonald's?
in the day when it was like age appropriate to work at
No.
McDonald's.
I mean, when she dated guys.
I never think about somebody's job when I'm dating, when I'm considering if I'm going to date them.
Yeah. Would you like?
That's not a thing that even.
Would you consider a
tracks my
long-term
mind.
relationship with somebody that works at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I like it. You're an exception to the rule. You're a real one. I appreciate it.
Because she also dates women.
Yeah.
All the genders.
So you would date somebody that works at McDonald's?
I feel like the smell would be nice.
Is
I
that
love
a yes?
the French fry smell.
Yeah, French fry smell.
But they do have the best French fries ever.
I'm not
They do.
dating
They're
any
great
men
French
after
fries.
this show. I've
You
decided.
get their French
The
fries.
manager.
Anyway. Ice cream.
Well,
steak.
I'm gonna actually hire her to intimacy consult me into becoming bisexual, so I can afford real love.
Oh, so it's a choice for you.
I mean,
There's a lot to unpack there.
It sounds like I'm backed into a corner here.
I don't know. I might be a little jealous. You know what I'm saying? You come out here smelling like damn chicken nuggets and shit. Big people, they tend to follow, you know what I'm saying, the smell. Why you walking so fast?
All right.
I was just going to say that when it comes to hypergamy.
What?
What?
I'm not saying when it comes to hypergamy. This is the one I'm about to say.
Hypergamy.
Hypergamy?
A man would date a woman at McDonald's, but a woman's not going to date a man that works at McDonald's.
Right.
And my point is, we don't care where a woman is in her social standing, economically, or when it comes to employment, and we will raise her up.
Yeah, and
but
I
a
think
woman that's up here is not going to do that. So in other words,
I disagree.
Yeah, what do
I
you
feel
mean?
like
Disagree on
tale
that
as
one,
old
dog.
as time is a woman doing her damnedest and got a deadbeat guy that she loves dearly and
that
is
happens.
gonna stick
That,
with.
that happens. But when it comes to hypergamy, I think most women they're going to marry the guy that's higher on the social status than someone that's not.
Well, based on hypergamy, from what I can see,
And
is
that's
like
the-
a lot of women get with a man because they love them, and then when the man gets successful and the woman's home taking care of the kids, then all of a sudden they both have new lives to start over.
And let's make sure that we both agree, like you both agree on your definition of hypergamy.
I have never heard
I
that
know
word
this
before.
word, what is it?
Hypergamy. Look at hypergamy. Basically, is a woman that marries a man that's on a higher social status, that got money and stuff like that, and they get with them, versus somebody that works at McDonald's and they won't get with them.
Well, sometimes that's the only way to move out of the house.
I'm just giving real. I'm realistic. I'm just realistic about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to demean anybody. I'm just being realistic in society.
And
that's all I'm doing.
Nailed it. Yeah, it's the
That's all I'm
practice
doing.
of marrying or
It's
dating
not
someone
the
who
bad
has a
for
higher
anybody.
social status or sexual capital than oneself.
But those are two separate things: social status and sexual capital.
Well, I think they mention it because it can work opposite.
So
in
a
the
beautiful
sexes.
woman can increase your standing as a social status,
Right.
even if she works at McDonald's. Nobody gives a shit where she works if she looks
Right.
like
And
Daisy Fuentes.
Absolutely.
And I think
that's what I just said.
What a random person to pick.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like she's
Put it in
old as
perspective.
Taylor's oldest time.
We got 4 women in here. I think y'all look good. If y'all worked at McDonald's or didn't work at all, we would date y'all. We had no problem with that.
Who is we? Every man? Because we
Okay,
out here.
let me jump in here real quick. We need to remember something, folks. We're speaking in generalities.
Yeah, we are.
And when we have enough evidence,
right,
it is okay to speak in generalities.
Yes,
Some
that's all I'm
people
saying.
call that speaking in absolutes. When we have enough evidence, it is okay to speak that as an absolute. Because if I say something about black people, we can take that as an absolute because I've spent this long being black. Same thing with men. Same thing with Muslims. Now, you may, Victoria, know one or... What's
That's
your name?
Veronica.
I'm not going to tell
Veronica.
you.
Oh, snap.
That's
I'm
Veronica.
sorry.
That's Victoria.
I knew it was a V something.
Yeah, I know.
But now, Veronica, you may know a black person who is contrary to what I'm saying, but that's one person. I would challenge you to find 10, right? So that's because we're not going to be 100% accurate, but when we can be 51% accurate, that is now the majority, and it's okay to move in that direction. So let's remember, folks, that we're speaking in generalities
That's it.
based on the majority of evidence.
Well, I think it's fair to say if it's a personal experience, then you say that. You don't speak from a general perspective.
But this is a show that people like listen to, and then if we're talking about these gaps, right? We want to talk about probabilities, right? If somebody were to take the advice of the exception,
right,
it's just not going to lead to the appropriate, to the right result. Just because, let's say it happens 20% of the time, would you jump out of an airplane if your chute works 20% of the time?
I mean,
and that's what we're talking about. Do you have some thoughts on this, Veronica?
I guess I'm just not interested in what the majority of people are doing. I'm interested in people figuring out what they want to do for themselves. And I don't know that we live in a society that's super well. And so I don't know that I'm interested in figuring out if the 51% of people do this thing in their relationships, I don't know, 51% of marriages end in divorce. So I feel like it depends on what your goal is. My goal isn't to be in the norm. My goal is to be more me.
Yeah.
So I think that's, and I think and I recognize that my work is very niche as a sex coach and an intimacy director, and sex educator, my whole shtick is challenging generalities so that each of us as individuals have more autonomy and space to explore what feels good for us. And so I think I'm having a hard time engaging with that as a concept. But I also realize that I'm niche in how I show up.
And that's a fair point, right? And the reason why we talk in generalities is because we talk in probabilities. And once again, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, right? And we speak in generalities, and back to my earlier point. If everybody's free to express, how free can you be within a society while maintaining a society, right? And, I know that, we have the internet, we have all these things, right? But we have a society that is thousands of years old in comparison, right? Then that's why we speak in generalities, because to a certain degree, we are still animals with why do certain things, why are you attracted to the things you're attracted to, right? You're just wired into it, right? But let's switch.
Can I give my opinion?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Almost forgot about
my
me.
bad,
Over
my
here
bad,
quiet
my
for no reason.
Yeah.
So, just to wrap up real quick, good on you. I love that you are challenging the generalities with the way that you live. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to put anything on the way that you live. I'm just saying when we're doing math, as Arturo said, we're speaking in probabilities, which are based on the generalities that we see. Now, you continue to live like that. Perfect. We're just speaking of probabilities about how the equations are going to go.
Yeah.
But in regard to this video, I completely disagree with Myron, and the reason why is because
I disagree with him too.
the reason why is because from my understanding, he's in his 30s now. He's speaking from his personal experiences of having terrible experiences with women. He has a podcast where he talks, where he finally got fed up, and a lot of people are like this. He got fed up with this whole man-woman game and the way that men were getting treated by the system. And he said, you know what if I just point out some things and I rail against that, right? Because in his opinion, women were getting over on some things that they shouldn't. And I agree with him. They were, right? So he decided to push back against that. But because of that, it's made him an angry, bitter person, which causes him to say things and do things that apply to all as one blanket statement, and that's not correct. So when he says men love idealistically, he is correct. Men are going in this loving idealistically, saying, okay, we're going to make it, we're going to work, we're going to start over from the beginning, let's have a good time. Now he says women, they love from a perspective of what can you provide. Now, it is true in that a woman is looking at a man as in terms of what can you provide, because that's what society says they should do. That's also within their nature. And then society pushes that forward even more. Every rap song blows me away. Get what you can get out of them, girl. Go ahead. City girls all day. But then the rappers are like, it blows my mind. I hate a gold digger. I hate a gold digger. But then turn around, I could take your woman because I got more money. How hypocritical is that? That's stupid, right? So loving a man for what he can provide is okay. But what's not okay is saying that women don't love idealistically. They only love based on what the man can provide. That's not realistic, because my grandmother loved my grandfather because of the love that they had. They got married when they were 22 years old, I believe. They had 4 kids. They were married until he died, pretty much. I've seen it 1,000 different times in my family. Yeah. I've seen it 1,000 different times in other people's family, where a woman is loving a man not just because of what he can provide. She's loving him because of the idealistic thing that they have built. And that's okay. So he's wrong in his stance, and I understand his stance is that way because of the amount of times he's been angry towards a woman. And I would tell him, Myron, guess what, man? You got to get over that, bro. Let that bitterness go.
He needs some healing.
That's why I didn't agree with it. That's why I said it's in theory, because I saw my grandparents that were married. Right. I grew up in a 2-parent home, and I know my mom to this day love my dad, and God knows he got his flaws, and she ain't with him for his money. So yeah, I agree with Wafeeq saying 150%. I have a lot of women in my family that married men and stayed with them until they died because they loved them, not because what they could provide for them.
Well, all right, let's switch some gears here. Everybody having a good time? Anybody need another drink? Something?
I'll go drink because my mom's
water. Yeah.
Dink will find the drink.
Yeah. I'm going to drink.
Yeah, okay. Quick drink refill. Anybody need to use the bathroom?
I'm going to have to pee too, but this is getting tough.
I do have a time restriction eventually.
Yeah, what time do you have to be out?
2:30 at the latest.
Okay, so 30 minutes. Okay.
It's a learned
skill. Do you have a time restriction, Veronica?
2:30 would be mine too.
Perfect.
All right,
got to go.
So, where you headed to? You got to see.
I got to go teach
I
a dating
bartend
workshop.
on Sundays.
Where? What about?
It's called Natural Science. It's a bar in Raleigh.
Natural. Where's that at? I never heard of it.
It's fairly new. It opened in January. It's in Gateway Plaza. That's like off Capitol. It's Capitol and Crabtree Boulevard.
Yeah, you way over there. I know exactly where you are. Yeah.
It's kind of hidden in there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how they like it. It's some of the owners plus another bartender from Person Street
I gotta come check you out. I know where that's at. I know exactly. Cause I'm from Raleigh originally. I live in Durham now. I'm from Raleigh.
Yeah.
Born and raised. I know exactly where you are. And what about you?
Oh, I got a dating workshop. I got to lead.
So you the boss.
Yeah.
You the real deal.
Yeah. It's dating while anxious for queer people with anxiety. It's really sweet.
All of them.
I know.
We
We're all
generalize
anxious.
that.
This is all super interesting for me because I'm realizing how I don't know that I talk to straight people that much. So reorienting myself
I gotta
to
turn
like
my
men and
cousins
women
on
and
to
how
you.
those
I got 2
relationships
cousins
work
that are gay.
going way back.
They need somebody. They need help. Yeah. So they
We
need
all
somebody
do.
in their life. I gotta turn them on to you.
Sure.
Cause they lost.
Yeah.
They lost. They worse
So
than.
wait,
I think a
did
lot of
you-
us are.
We all disagreed with that. Did you disagree with it, or do you?
Oh, I usually, as the host, I usually don't partake, in the conversation.
Yeah. Keep
Yeah,
your
and
self-values
just so you
neutral.
know, that guy, he was brutally rejected by women coming up. That's why he has this.
That's why
Yeah,
he was
he's got a lot
he
of
was so harsh
sadness.
about it.
Yeah, that
He's got a lot
I
of
didn't want to
pain.
change the
leave it alone.
the
Over here.
dynamics of our
Yeah.
program. But if you watch his stuff, he was like nobody. The women didn't want him. He's
yeah,
hurt.
it seems like he's got a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
Because when I heard, I was like, nah. I'm like, nah.
All right,
Nah,
let's make sure that we take advantage of the time since Lee's got an hour and
I
30
gotta
minutes.
pee after she come out. Yeah, I gotta pee too.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Well, I think they both in there or something. So I'm gonna wait.
No, she's outside.
Oh, I've seen this one.
All right, let's hear this one.
Would you rather be a pirate, a ninja, or an alien?
Alien?
Oh, and you were doing so well. What's your favorite movie?
Probably When Harry Met Sally.
Ah, when mainstream met, predictable. Mine's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Cause like, who even wants to go to a restaurant anyways, right? I mean, literally, what are we gonna do? We're going on a date. Oh, we are zombie robots going through the motions of dating. La da da. Do you have any kids? How tall are you? Da da da. Appetizer, main, dessert. I can't afford that. Let's do something spontaneous. Let's go to the park. Let's read Shakespeare. So what's in your zombie preparedness kit? You don't have a zombie preparedness kit? Okay, I know what we're doing for date 2.
Wow.
Hey, we'll start. Let's end Veronica.
I've seen a bunch of this guy's videos, and I love them. They crack me up. I think this one was actually... Usually his videos and the first few questions were kind of like this, where like anything she responded, he was like grading her kind of, or like being like, oh, that's cute, you like that. It's like super mansplaining. But I kind of like, you know what? He's being him. And it seems like a miserable date to be on, but maybe there is someone out there who like does want to talk about their zombie preparedness kit, and he's never going to find them if he doesn't ask his question.
That's very understanding of you.
Seems like a miserable date to be on for me, but
we'll do a quick run about. Anybody have any major reactions to that video? If not, I have another one for you.
I feel like I've been on a very similar date.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're having a second date?
I know,
Please say no.
sweetie pie.
I know he owns a lot of lotion.
Okay, here let's go with our next video.
Okay, bare minimum requirements to be my boyfriend, and it literally took me to my mid-20s to realize that I should be making a list because I need to manifest the right man. It's literally the bare minimum. I can't wait for all the haters to rip me apart in the comments, but here we go. So number 1, no drugs. I can't do it. It's just not healthy. It's toxic, and no. Number 2, you buy me flowers once a month. That's it. Like, so easy. They sell flowers at Trader Joe's for like $10. Next, daily communication. It doesn't even have to be good morning and good night text, but just communicating with me every day and letting me know how your day is. You know. Next is paying for the first 3 to 4 dates and it not even being an issue. No complaining about it. You're asking me out. I'm sorry. I'm old school. You're paying for the dates. Also, you are driving everywhere unless I want to drive. You can let me be the passenger princess, and you're opening my door for me. Next, no love bombing. I want consistency. I'm sick of men being like, I want to marry you the first week they meet me, and then it's like crickets. And then last but not least, but initiating physical stuff with me at least 2 to 3 times a week. Women want to feel desired, so.
Okay, Wafeeq, I'll take your reaction. We'll start at your end.
Hot.
You know what's crazy?
Should address the monkey in the room. Wait, the elephant, the
Yeah,
what,
those are
the
some
bosoms.
boobs.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering too. I'm wondering what is she going for
Good
here?
for her.
Oh, she was going for a double D with no rippling.
Double D.
She was going for underboob, not
Yeah.
cleavage.
Major puckering in her implant.
And the reason why I say what is she going for here, because she's giving us 2 extremes, right? Why is she dressed like this? I would say, can you put on some more clothes, please? But
So you didn't hear anything what she said?
I did. And here's why I say it's crazy. I agree with everything she said. I don't have a problem with anything that she said. All of that sounds normal to me.
Did it sound like womp 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 womp?
Nah, I was looking at her face the whole time after I said, "Why is she dressed like this?" So I wonder what kind of thing is she doing with her videos? Because like I do my Muslim news segment where I give a fact about Islam followed by a completely unrelated comedic piece of news, and people are like, "What just happened here?" I
You
thought
need
it was
some
going
Muslim
to be
boob.
Muslim news, right? But I think I would like to know what her hook. I guess that's her hook, but I agree with what she's saying.
What,
it doesn't seem extreme to me.
You would say her outfit is haram?
Yeah,
That was a hook, though.
yeah.
I feel like she contradicted herself when she said she didn't want to be love bombed.
I thought so too. I thought
But
that
then
was
she wanted all that stuff.
No, here's what that feels like. See, I understand that love bombing would be me sending you 5 texts every 10 minutes about how much I want to marry and have children with you. I'm bombarding you with, oh my God, you were the best. I would love you so much. I love you so much, right? It begins to become overwhelming.
I think I had a different definition, which was more like gift giving.
And to some degree, I think he means like what she's saying. Like, yeah, he's like texting her all the time, and then maybe once he has sex with her, or once he gets comfortable, then it's just
Then he
like
dips.
not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The attention is aggressive in the beginning, and then
It's
It's a manipulation tactic.
It's an atomic bomb of how much I love you.
I have another video by her, and then we'll go around, just to be efficient with her.
boobs. Yes, show me
I
them
think
titties.
it might be the same. Oh,
Oh, the left one's
said,
bigger.
"Show me them
Demure.
titties."
The left one's bigger than the right one.
Notice she's shaking.
let me,
Notice she's bouncing.
She know what she doing.
She know what she's doing.
We ain't even got to hear what she's
A lot of
saying.
men of this generation are scared of women, and I think that has to do with a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to go into it. But number one, dating apps has made it so that men do not have to risk anything to go on a date with women. Back in the day, you used to have to at least go to a bar and risk rejection in front of your friends, or embarrassment, or any sort of thing like that. Now it's just guaranteed. Men can go on an app and just swipe, and if you match with them, they know that you at least have interest in them, so there's literally no risk. Second, I think that people having phones and girls always recording things definitely scares men, because they always think that like a girl is going to record them and call them a creep. Men are so terrified of being called creeps. I think it's like one of the things that they fear the most. They never want to be that creepy guy, and now in this generation everything's recorded and put on TikTok, so they're scared about that. And the third reason I think men are scared of women is because they just don't have motivation due to pornography and things like that to even go on dates, and they're so scared of being like called a creep or getting like accused of something that it's easier for them to just say inside. I'm not saying this is an excuse, and men, you need to get out there and get over this, but I'm just explaining why I feel like men truly are scared of women in this generation.
It's so hard to listen to her. I'm sorry. It's so hard to listen.
I'm glad she talks in like 4th grade paper though. It's like intro.
Yeah, I see what she's
beep,
doing
beep,
now.
beep, something.
She's using the breast
Yeah,
as
she's
a hook,
using- yeah.
but what she's
sitting
saying.
on like a
About what she's
dictionary,
saying.
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah,
and then
how-
she's like,
Because when you
Because
see
what
stuff
she's-
like that, let me tell you something. I'm sorry.
Who
Wafeeq.
has a
Let me
waist
tell
in
you
their
something.
car
If
seat like
women, if you ever just want to win an argument with a dude, just do
do
it
that.
naked.
Do
I'm
it
just
naked.
tell you, like what she's
Okay,
doing. She's
Chico.
she's bouncing them boobs around.
No, I
and
think
she's
it would
saying what
be-
she's saying. So men will be like, yeah, I believe what you're saying, because you hypnotized, because you swaying back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Titnotized,
He's
you
like
know, like-
titnotized. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Or are we too
go ahead.
early?
The
Talk to your
hook
mothers.
makes sense now because men are going to watch. A certain segment of men are going to watch because she's
Exactly.
got her breast out. But and they're not going to hear it until they go back 3 times, and then eventually they're going to hear it.
And then she's got those views up.
Right,
mean,
right.
I was-
But it doesn't matter. But that doesn't. She doesn't need to do that to me because I'm listening to what she's saying, and
I
what
wasn't.
she's saying is actually very sound. I think what she's saying makes sense.
The crazy thing is she ain't even got to do all that. And she just show her face.
she's really pretty.
And her point will get across to
That's
men.
smart.
We're very simple. She does not have to show her breast. You can ask any man on this stage. You don't have to show her
Except that
breast.
we're watching her
Well,
and it got on
she-
our radar.
yeah.
There you go.
So-
That's it.
I've seen her on my TikTok.
She's
I
playing
don't
the
know.
I've never
internet
seen her
game.
Does she have nipples?
If she
though?
just showed her face, she would still get her
never
views
seen
and
a
point
nipple.
across. But
I have
she
a-
wants to
I have
show
a
her
video
nipples.
where
does,
she has
she
nipples.
does
Oh,
have
she
a
does have
point
nipples?
about.
That's a good point.
She does
Or
have
she
a
did not
point about
cakes?
men being
Kardashian cakes.
I wouldn't say scared, but I think that it's a point of perception, right? So if I'm at a spot, if I'm at a club, let's say I'm at a club, I don't do that anymore because I'm older. But
Stop using
I'm
your
in the
age as an
club.
excuse.
No, it's not no excuse. It's just real talk. I'm older and I'm learned and I got knowledge. So when it comes to the point that when somebody goes out here and they see someone on the phone, like say for example, I see a beautiful woman that I want to talk to, or I see like, yeah, she's attractive, and I see that she's on the phone. My mind isn't like, is she going to record me or anything like that. My mind is like, yo, she's on her phone, so her presence, she's not being present there. Her intention is somewhere else. So why would I go over to her when her attention is not where she is, but where she wants to be, right? I don't know if she's on the phone talking to a babysitter. I don't know if she's on the phone talking to her boyfriend or whatever. The bottom line is, for me, I know that she's not present. So why would I, and who do I think that I am, that I could go over there and be like, you know what? Go ahead and put your phone down, babe. You know what I'm saying? I'm here now. You feel what I'm saying?
So many people do that, though.
But I'm saying, though, but as a man, it comes to the point where, to me, it's like, you don't want to be here. I don't think that you want to be here.
Yeah.
Right? And if I don't think you want to be here, why would I sit here and waste my time?
What if she's incredibly hot?
If she's incredibly hot? Nah, dog. It don't make no difference, man. That don't mean nothing. I know a lot of hot women that, you know what I'm saying, got fucked up brains. That don't mean shit.
A bunch of them.
That don't mean nothing.
We're dealing with some involved men.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
So, you know.
or some lion men.
Exactly.
You pick.
That's something we need to talk about, man. As we get
Some
older.
men that know they're on camera and are saying the right thing. What did you?
What's the question?
Just your reaction to that video.
I mean, if you got to get someone's attention, you got to get someone's attention. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm concerned about her left breast. Like, it's so much larger than the other one.
Yeah.
Like, now I want to see them, like, without a shirt on.
Well, I think she has an OnlyFans, so you probably
Okay,
can.
well, that might be exactly what I'm after, maybe, but I don't know.
That's being real, though. All y'all
And I
women's
thought-
titties are y'all lopsided.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was. I'm not really that concerned, okay, Tika. I'm not a doctor. I could just play one on TV. But I do.
Just like
I think
your testicles.
I think her platform is interesting. I'm curious how she's sitting in that chair, like in the seat in her car. What kind of car she drives? Like
It's
all
a
these
Bronco.
questions. Yeah, it looks like a cool, badass car.
Got the OJ
Costs
mobile.
more money than I could ever have at one time, but I do like that she's putting this information out there. So it's like, if you're gonna come at her, you better come at her with boundaries. You know, that's kind of hot. That's
Most
an attractive.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, if she's saying this is what I want, then as a man, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to look at this like what? I'm supposed to watch it 3 or 4 times. Like, okay, she wants to do this. Do I want to? You know what I'm saying?
I don't, because I'm watching it as a woman,
Right.
and I'm speaking as a woman, so
and
I don't
love
know
that,
what
and
you're
I
saying.
love that, and I believe that is what's needed, right? But again, like you say, it's communication. It's about coming off like, boom, boom, this is what I want. Then like, hey, this is the type of stuff that I like, but this is non-negotiable. And it's tone.
You
it's
establish
tone,
your boundaries,
right?
and then maybe segue with that.
And she's getting paid too.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind this social media, and the more stuff you put out
That
there.
Bronco wasn't free.
Yeah.
Right. This is she getting paid.
But I want to segue it into Veronica, you've mentioned, and that you're an intimacy coach, and everybody's jumping about this, woman's, breast and whatnot. But what's your, first of all, what is it that you do? Because I want to, it's very interesting. I know, we have limited time, so I want to dig into that a little bit.
Yeah. So I work with individuals and partners who have an area of their sex life or just like their life as a human and are trying to
all types, cis,
folks of all genders and orientations and all of that good stuff who are either wanting to explore their own sexuality for the first time because, spoiler, most of us never got sex ed, and we just kind of assume that as folks reach adulthood, they somehow magically became super proficient at communication and sex and relationships with no real support. And then working with folks who are like, oh, my partner and I maybe feel really disconnected and we want to reignite our connection. And how do we do that? And so I'm your buddy who helps you.
What does that look like?
That.
are you like naked with them in the room or whatever?
No, there are some people who do that. That's not what I do. There are some people who do that.
Yeah.
There's like a whole world of people who are like surrogate partners and like that's their thing. No, mine's all talk based.
Okay,
Yeah.
like dirty talk base or like I have zero frame. I'm just.
I mean,
fucking
I
around,
like
but,
I have helped people practice how to dirty talk. Like if that's something somebody wants to get better with.
Can you give us an example?
No, I'd rather not.
No. I mean, more like what is that? I'm more.
Yeah.
What is that? Look
So
like
some
is
of
it
it-
like a therapy session
Yeah,
in a way?
yeah. So I see folks in person, but also I see a lot of folks virtually. So it's like an hour-long session. We chat, and if there's like information folks need, or like a lot of shit about sexuality and like things that people feel a lot of shame about are rooted in the belief that like, oh, everyone knows I should be able to just do things this way, or like what I see on TV or in movies or in songs is supposed to be like just how I am naturally, and that's not inherently true for a lot of people. And so kind of dispelling myths, giving people factual information, and helping folks like get creative with how they want shit to show up in their own relationships is what I do.
Also,
Yeah.
if I can interject here, one thing I think that's badass about what you do is she can act as a liaison on sets.
Oh, yeah, I do
or
that for
in-
theater,
in
too.
theater, and I think that's a really beautiful way of culturally expressing ourselves. Like we're using relationships and sexuality, innuendos, and all these things on stages and in short films and music videos. But having someone like her to guide both sides, it feels like equal representation can be in the room.
So like what do you say? Like the P's getting too close to the V? Or
So
like,
I, in addition to doing like client-centered work, I'm an intimacy director. So like if there's a play that's happening that has like scenes of simulated sex or nudity or hyperexposure, they bring me in and I choreograph those scenes in a way that also centers the boundaries and consent of the actors, because historically a lot of theater spaces, but also film spaces, actors feel like they can't have boundaries or else they'll get fired, right? It's very common for people to be like, well, if you don't want to do it, there's like a million other people who auditioned. So, and so supporting folks in actually choreographing stuff, because a lot of the times, because even directors are uncomfortable and don't know how to use their words and talk about these things, people end up being like, I don't know, just like do it, and then folks end up getting into really complicated situations that feel really awful. So I hope that not happen.
That's very
That's
true
super cool.
as an actor, because I'm glad she said that. I'm shooting a movie now, and I shot another movie last month. It was like end of July, and the actors on the set talked about exactly what she talked about. And hear her say that is profound, because a lot of people don't know that whenever you do these sex scenes, they do exactly what they say. They say, well, someone else can do it, or we're going to go for broke.
Yeah, it's kind of threatening. It's a
And I
threatening
heard
energy
people
sometimes.
on a set literally tell me how they got sexually aroused.
Yeah.
If this other person came out here right now, we had like it was so good. It was a relationship. So I clap on that, because as an actor, I've never had to do a sex scene, and I wouldn't know how to do one.
Yeah.
And I've had sex before, but seriously, I've acted several roles.
Sure you have.
Totally, but also, yeah,
I
you're right.
I wouldn't know how to. No, seriously, I've never had sex in front of nobody, so I would not know how to do that. And to your point, I would definitely not want to make a woman feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, make
Like,
anybody
that's-
feel
yeah.
uncomfortable.
So I think that's a great thing she's doing, because I was just on a movie set, and the two guys and the two women on the set, they talked about their sexual experience. To their credit, they like what they did, but I was sitting there like, I don't know, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, and some people are like, oh, well, if there's a sex scene, I guess that means that we're actually having our genitals out. But like, no, there's
she's telling the
whole
truth.
ass like modesty garments that
Right.
exist, so that people's like, they're reducing the actual like sensation of people's bodies touching each other on their genitals, so that folks aren't becoming aroused.
And these same people, and she can attest to this, have actually had sex on us when the camera was rolling, and the directors didn't care. What? They said, I'm not making this up. I'm not making
What kind
this
of
up.
movies are you
Because
making?
people
dude?
have, because people are so uncomfortable.
Just for clarity, am I not lying?
No, you're not lying.
People have actually
Historically,
had
that's-
sex on these scenes.
On
yeah.
camera, like
Yeah, they have
Yes,
actually.
because
For a movie?
people.
I could have sworn that damn Holly Berry scene
Because
was
there is a
real.
lot of historically.
I'm so glad you're here, because the people know I'm not lying.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Historically, there's a lot of directors who like think they're being edgy and are like, I want it to feel as real as possible.
That's it.
And if we don't give people, and I have friends who are intimacy directors for porn, or for corn, I'm sorry, who like, just because you are a person who is consenting to whatever the activity is, doesn't mean that you are giving blanket consent for people to touch you in whatever way they want without you having an idea of what is coming.
Amen.
No
Yes.
pun intended.
Yes.
Right? And so, yeah, having
No,
someone in the room to
I've
help
said
with
this
that.
to people, and people look at me like, "No, man." I said, "No, man." And we live in an age now. As a man, I definitely, if I have to do a sex scene, I don't want to disrespect the woman anyway, whether I'm having a sex scene or not. And the last thing I want to do is on a sex scene. So I'm glad we have people like this, because I was on a set and I had four women, 2 men and 2 women, and they told me the experience they had, and they absolutely loved it. And I told them, I said, man, I don't know if I could do that. Seriously. So to have someone like this on a scene and they have actually coaches, I think it's a great thing.
No, that's awesome. That's
great.
I have a question for Veronica.
Yeah.
So I know when I said that I find what the woman said to be sound, I agree with it. You were given the indication that you disagree. What's that about?
I'm trying to remember what she said that I didn't love. Oh, I think
about opening
that
the car door.
I think that when she was talking about, I mean, I do understand that the end result is that people feel really on edge when they're on dates as a result of the ways that people are engaging with each other. I think it was hard for me to hear her piece about like, oh, men are afraid that they're being recorded. Because like I think on a big level, I'm like, yeah, I think it's stressful for all of us to move through life thinking people might be recording us. But it's hard for me to not think about it in the context that like sometimes people are recording people because they feel unsafe. And so to me, the bigger question in my brain is like, why do you need to be recorded? What's going on is like where my brain went. So I had, you know, as I've said, I go too far into nuance in my brain.
I think two things can be true at the same time.
For sure.
So what you said is true, and what she said is also true. Men are definitely afraid of that sometimes because, you know, they hear so many horror stories of women accusing somebody of doing something. And there's a whole series you can find on TikTok and Instagram of horror stories of a woman accusing a guy of being a creep in the gym when all he's doing is trying to be exercise right here. Oh, the 20 pounders are over there. Why are you looking at me?
Yeah.
Right?
There's a Facebook group for it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it all gets to be true at once, for sure.
Yeah. So we're absolutely, we're both correct here.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna do one more video for you all to react to. Then we'll go around. Last thoughts. Anything that you may want to ask the panel. You know, any lingering thoughts. We've almost done 2.5 hours, which to me went like this. I don't know. Have you all had a good time?
Yeah.
So
Good absolutely.
Good.
Time.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you. Because
I feel like I'm in timeout.
I feel like we just scratched the surface.
Because you are Victoria. You are.
But we'd love to have you back if you're, you know, like open to it. You know, with a large panel, and sometimes it gets, you know, a little wild. So let me see if you've ever seen this.
Man, I thought I was back at work.
Have one set of values. Men add up what we think about your looks, your personality. We subtract how much availability you're giving to other men. And then here I drew a cabinet, which is the male version of the galaxy. Because there are other things that can make women more and less valuable to men, but it's not very much. These many, many things can make a big difference, a big impact on how women like men. But over here it's not that big of an impact. So this is basically the way that men decide how much they value you. And then once we decide from the best I can get to the worst I'll take where we're going to put you, you kind of end up in one of these boxes. And it can be pretty hard to leave. In order to do that, you would have to either improve your looks or your personality or get rid of the male attention that you have in your life. And you're not going to really be able to do it with this. If this isn't cutting it for us, this is a big lesson that a lot of women need to learn. You can't overcome lack in this department by wearing a t-shirt that he likes or picking up a hobby that he likes. That's why it's a cabinet. It's very, very small. It makes a small impact. If your cabinet is perfect for the man that you want, it might give you half a point to a point. This is really most of it. Women, on the other hand, they have two sets of criteria that they evaluate men on. They have good guy stuff and bad boy stuff. And this is one of the reasons that there's so much confusion in our culture about what women want, because they say they want good guy things, and then they actually go with men who have bad boy things. But the truth is, they want both, and you don't have to choose. In our language, we say I'm a good guy, or I'm a bad boy, or I'm good, or I'm bad, or this is. But really, you can be both of these things. And in order to be both of these things, you have to maximize your physical attractiveness, face, body, height, voice, all the things that you can do, lose weight, get muscle, maximize it, and maximize your masculinity. Dominance, power, confidence, smoothness, which is, I'll explain that later. Smoothness is basically how well you understand women. If you can approach a woman and you know what it is that she responds to, she's going to go, oh, you understand women. That's your smooth.
Sweetie pie.
Women also respond to dark triad.
What's the dark triad?
This is a big difference between men and women. Men do not need women to have any evil stuff, any bad things. Some guys like bad girls, but that's a personality thing. Men in general don't need girls to be bad. Women need men to be at least somewhat bad. You gotta be dangerous. You have to have the ability to be dangerous. Not necessarily go to jail, but you have to be capable of it. And that will boost your bad boy score.
Oh, honey.
Okay, let's start with
The truth
you.
on that.
I
You told
don't
the
know
truth.
about that right
I want to know what
I
the
can't
dark
even.
triad is.
Ain't nothing to argue about that.
Who's this dude, man? And who
Bases
hurt
on
him?
Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, who hit him? Who
Marathon.
hurt
What is
him?
the dark triad?
Yeah,
We're
who
not,
hurt this
anybody
dude?
else?
Veronica,
wondering
is he
what
right?
that is?
Veronica, is he right?
Victoria.
I mean, Victoria, is he right?
I don't know.
That explains her date the other day. You know.
Yeah, Victoria, he's right. He's
I
right.
can't be mad at the bad boy thing though, because but also no.
Yeah, let's start and wait.
Start with
gather your
Victoria.
thoughts.
That's Veronica.
Yeah, actually, let's start with you, Victoria.
Yeah,
What,
start
what
with
do you think
Victoria.
about that video?
Well, I thought the illustrations were kind of impressive.
That was cute.
I was like, this is darling. Also, is this person okay?
But once again, we're not talking about the meta conversation about
meta
him, or we're talking
conversation.
about the topic at hand.
I was concerned about his well-being because I thought maybe there's going to be a dead body in the scene soon, but I think she made it. But yeah, I think the chart is interesting. I definitely think that there is a high risk, high reward in my relationship selection personally, so I could attest to that.
Because arguably, the guy that took you out had a bunch of good guy.
He didn't take me out. We just went out of town
okay.
together.
Out of town together. This is even more complicated. But let's say he probably had good guy on one side, but maybe not something where you're attracted to him on the other bar.
Yeah, but I think he keeps it that way so that he doesn't have to be let down by disappointing me.
Does that explanation make you feel better?
Not necessarily, but I also hope that he feels that his boundaries with me and vice versa are respected. Like he knows I won't sleep with him without me having to say, I'll never sleep with you. Like, it doesn't sound nice to say out loud to someone.
But once again, clear communication, right? Does he think there's a chance?
I at this moment in time, I do not know that answer, but I would hope that he would see. And even if I was talking about somebody that I've been on dates with.
Let me take a quick pause here since we have a couple ladies. Ladies,
Yes.
do you know when a guy wants to sleep with you?
Can you tell the signs?
Yeah, can you tell?
Yep.
Okay, so you're like,
I'm
and
not
you
getting
can't
those,
tell?
I'm not getting those signs, no. But according to this man's pie chart, I am definitely a higher risk person. Like the person that I'm seeking attention from currently is doing their own thing and doesn't need me or necessarily want me. So when
high on the bad boy traits.
But when I have time with them, they say really nice things. I feel seen and whole. Like I don't need to complete them. I'm just like an asset in their life because I'm also complete. Almost complete. Do you know what I mean? I want to be my own thing in someone else's own thing.
Okay.
So I like that pie chart thing.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. We'll start again and then we'll circle around.
Start with me or Victoria?
Yeah.
Veronica.
Wafeeq. Get him Wafeeq. Give him a little bro.
Sorry.
Mess up
It's
his
like
name too.
3
Mess up
black
his
men
name.
and 2 V
No,
names.
it's the V's. That's what's getting me. So for the man side, he is 100% accurate. That's 100% correct. And I can say that because once again, I'm a man, so I know. Now, for the women's side, based on my observations of women, I would say that is just about accurate, right? Based on my observations. But here's what I would like to know. The man side, I'm not so much concerned with because that's indisputable. I know that's correct. And I would encourage you all to take me at my word because, once again, I'm a man. I know what I'm talking about for men. I would like to know how correct he is with the women's side. And I notice I said based on my observations of women, he is correct. And before you answer, I would like you to please remember, we're dealing with what is most likely to happen, not what is specifically to happen. So that means we have to go with the probability of the generality, not with the one or two people we know who contradict the model.
Stop mansplaining to us, Wafeeq, okay?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
No, I hate that term, mansplaining. That's ridiculous. An explanation is an explanation. So then
get more time to do it.
Well, that's your fault. Jump in and stop and explain for the women. I mean, it doesn't matter about gender. An explanation is an explanation. I mean, move on with life.
Let's hear with the ladies, and we'll start with you, Veronica.
I don't know that you want my opinion. I don't think we're gonna like it.
No. I want to hear. No. Do it. I'm on this show, baby. It's got to.
I want to hear it more now.
I want to hear it. Let's go, Veronica.
I mean, I thought that it was a very cute little video. That it seems like he loves board games and really loves to explain board games, and so he had to make a little graphic that made something that's very complex and unpredictable into something that felt controllable and predictable. Good for him if that helps. I don't know. Speaking as a woman, I hate doing generalities. This is everything against me.
Come on, do it, baby girl.
Speaking as a woman, every woman I know who's married to a man is married to a sweetie pie who doesn't have any of the bad boy shit. So, that's not my experience that bears out. I think that
they're attractive. They're fatty bum baddies,
doll
or they're
babies. Oh my god, yes, fantastic humans.
I think he put in one caveat for someone like you. He said they'd have to at least show the capacity and capability of being a bad boy.
I'm not in these relationships with these men, but unless they're showing something in private that I'm not seeing, I don't see that. But I bet
that's the case. They did something along the way where they showed the woman, hey, if I need to get busy like this, I can get busy.
Maybe. I don't know. I disagree with it, but that's fine. Your turn.
I like it, but outside of disagree, any other thoughts on that? Like, he's definitely got probably a bit of the tism, but like, any other thoughts on that?
No.
By the way, thank you for that. Like, you have such a refreshing. Most people here are comics, so I really appreciate like your insight. We want to hear.
I'm not funny.
These
sorry.
different.
You're
You're great.
You're
like, listen, this
it
podcast
is.
is richer with you in it. Like,
Exactly.
Are you good, Veronica? No, your perspective is good. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
heartfelt.
Exactly.
Katie, what do you think?
I think the same thing. I got a little distracted with the type of person that's going to do any kind of diagram like that is already kind of missing it. He's just missing it. I've seen guys on here before where they're like, this is the recipe, and this, there's not a recipe. It's individual. Exactly. That's me. And I know we're trying to be general, but so from a general perspective, sure, that is completely accurate. But but no, he knows nothing of relationships. Why would we ever listen to that person about any of it?
He doesn't have
He's just
time.
guessing.
He's got to make that. You got to draw that drawing.
And laminate it.
Yeah, color.
And you got to
It was
put it in a
laminated?
little.
Oh,
Hey, well, he put it in one of those binder sleeves to keep it safe.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Oh boy.
Victoria.
I like I said, I think the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, and I also think there's a lot of safety and continuity. Like if it's something you like, you get the same ice cream flavor every time, and then you marry that ice cream flavor, and that ice cream flavor never disappoints you until suddenly you realize you don't even like that ice cream flavor. You're actually probably allergic.
Damn.
Like that can happen, but also maybe it couldn't happen. It's like a delightful consistency in your life. I don't know that life, so I can't speak from that place. I am in a high risk, high reward scenario now. The more fun and dangerous a person is, the more willing I'm going to be to take a chance with them, because I don't want the same ice cream flavor for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Well, awesome.
Katie looks worried.
Sorry, I have to bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we gotta go.
Any last thoughts before you go? Did you have fun? Did you have a
I
good
had
time?
so much fun with you guys. I loved hearing all the insight. I could do this forever.
We'd
I
love
want to
have you
follow
back.
you
We'd
on
love to-
Instagram.
I'd love to
come
welcome
back.
Are you on
you.
Instagram,
On
Facebook?
Instagram, I would love to plug Venus Flytrap Comedy, which is
And we'll
what
put it
comedy-
also in the description.
Please,
and
yeah,
everything.
I want to follow you.
Please do. And I just had so much fun. I'm totally here for all these conversations.
So are we. Once again, none of these are value judgments or anything. None of it has it figured out. I think dating is even super hard in 2024. So I really appreciate both of your time and your perspective. Thank you for coming on.
you.
Same thing with you too,
Well,
Veronica.
thank you for coming
Yeah.
out.
We
Katie.
We got to find you too
Yes,
on
my pleasure.
One
Instagram.
name,
Yeah.
though.
Follow you. You can't disappear now, baby. I know
Dress
Joe.
rehearsal.
Joe
They've
Rose.
both been on my shows before. You can find them on my Instagram.
That's true.
Venus Flytrap
Bless you.
Comedy. That sounds familiar.
Thank you.
y'all.
Thank you, ladies, for
Shout out,
coming
y'all.
by.
Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Where did I?
And we'll wrap up with you guys and your perspective.
Okay.
You can
And
talk about us when we leave. It's really nice things.
yeah, absolutely. You know, I should have taken take a picture of you just right there. You look great for the
Victoria,
thing.
you are the villain I love that you are.
Hold on. Stand
I'm
right
gonna
there.
make things
We're gonna
worse
use it
and
for the
then better.
thumbnail. The what?
So I'm here to make things worse and then better.
Veronica, you gonna say, hey, Veronica, you see a black man in a
Okay.
robe when I reach out to you?
Let me see. Ready? Perfect.
But it's an
You look
old
great.
picture. My hair was bald back then. It's me.
Let's get the two V's together.
Oh yeah. Here.
So you're on Instagram, right?
I'm on Instagram, yeah.
What's the name again?
Hold on.
Ready? Boom.
Dress rehearsal.
The dress rehearsal. My last name's Dress.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, which I thought was a very cool, like
Gotta pun it up.
Well, thank you, ladies, for coming by. Thank you for your
Thank you
perspective.
for coming by.
But you
Yeah,
will
we'll
We'll
welcome
love
you
to
back
have you.
anytime.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to stay. I gave up my soul. They don't get my money anymore. But y'all should go see Katie tonight if you're in Raleigh. She works at the Natural Science Bar.
Yeah, she told me. I'm gonna check her out. And we sit beside a
Cool.
Tar
It's
Heel
like the
fan.
sister bar from
I
Percy
still love him, even though he's a Tar Heel fan.
I love
He ain't a
you.
bad Tar Heel fan, though.
Amazing.
And then I'm
You
gonna
make everything better.
and then
more
I'm sit beside
consensual.
another Carolina fan.
Yeah, you
But he's South
sandwiched by
Carolina.
Tar Heel. Oh,
Nah.
you in Tar Heels too?
Yeah, no. This you Gamecocks. And, yeah.
Gamecocks and the Tar
And
Heels.
you from the
man.
you ain't from the
she's
low
just
country.
like,
You from
this is a
the
very
top.
intimidating
Yeah,
space
the
for her.
middle.
The middle, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? But I think she did great. She did
Why?
so
'Cause
well.
we're minorities.
Well, I just think, it's like you got three chatters. So
Nice to meet
Yeah,
you,
pleasure.
Katie.
See what
right?
time it was.
Katie, love to have you
See you,
back.
Katie.
Thank you
Thank you
again.
so much.
Where you
Katie.
going, Veronica?
She goes. She got
She
Victoria,
got it right.
Victoria, where you go? I mean, where you going too?
Love y'all.
Yeah,
All right,
love
good.
you. Okay, Tico.
It's a minority show now.
No. We're wrapping up with
Yeah,
that
wrapping
video, but it's pretty accurate, right?
Oh, the video itself is interesting. I think that the whole dynamics of women wanting a bad boy and all this other stuff. You're right. I mean, it just comes to the point where it's like animals, right? Like I said, we're animals. It's about, are you strong enough to protect me?
Yeah.
Are you strong enough to, provide for me? And I understand that, and I get that. It's just that due to social media that they always, and just not social media, just media in itself, that this bad boy persona goes around where, women they'll marry the safe dude. I guess what you would call that, the safe dude.
Well,
right?
yeah, and that's I think what the two
Right.
axes that you're talking about, right? Like, 'cause there is the protecting masculinity,
Right.
Like side potential
Exactly.
to like defend her, and then the guy that invests
Invest
time in
in-
her, doesn't
exactly.
have other women, like
But
has
can
things in
but can
common.
women exactly? But can women have it? Can you have it both ways? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think
Both
the
ways of what?
percentage
What you
is
mean?
so
Like-
small.
Right. It's so small because I can now. If you want me to protect you and be, I guess I hate to say like thug. If you want me to protect you and I'm that dude that you know what I'm saying, like that, yeah. But you still want me to turn that off. Does that make sense? Like you want me to turn that masculinity off? Like okay, like say for example,
They
like
don't want that. They don't want
They
that.
want you to be hard. They want you rah rah rah. They want you to take them and grab them and throw them against the wall.
This
and
is what
all
women
kiss them
want.
down, right? But
This-
then they want you to be soft at the same token and make sure that it's a hard balance.
No,
Man. That's all I know.
this is
And
what
I think
women.
they'll pick the bad boy over the nice guy all day.
But
every
that's
day.
physically. I think they would do that physically. I don't think that they would. And I think that women today are confused because of the way that things are. They want, for our community, they want you to be hood, but at the same token, want you to be soft. But you can't be too hood You know, because you're gonna miss out on something. That's
This is what they want, man. This is what women want. They want a man that can be hood, but at the same time be professional with the same type of likeness. See, they want you to be both. They just want it's how you do it. So let's give an example. Tico, I'm gonna use Tico, and I'm gonna use my man right here, Wafeeq. They want them to be hood. The hood means this. They at a restaurant, someone try to talk to the girl, motherfucker, what you doing? Boom, I'm gonna whoop your ass. The hood version. Now, the nice guy or the guy that can protect, that can pay their bills and stuff. Hey, baby, I'm going over here to make this $100 million deal with Arturo and Guidorachi. We about to put a show together. They're getting two things out of one guy. That's how they like it to be. And I'm gonna say this also. I don't care what any woman says. They go from my mother, who I love dearly, and my aunts. No woman wants a man no other woman wants. I stand by that 10 toes down. I'm going to go a little further.
Old school right there.
I'm going to go further. It ain't just the women want him. It could be my homeboy Tico, my man Wafeeq, my man Arturo. Y'all could be in a room full of men. If y'all to send the attention, women love it. Because women love masculinity. That's what they love. That's how it rolls. So when you see a woman that likes a bad boy, it ain't because he robbing a bank and he's shooting somebody, he being Tupac. It ain't that, nah. Women like to feel protected when they're at their weakest moments. That's why they go to the bad boys. It ain't because they robbing banks. It's the protection and the persona that they give them.
Yeah, you know, things change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No longer.
Yeah.
It's not like apes and gorillas.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like another.
That's
like
how,
another
thing,
alpha.
women don't.
It's not like another alpha is coming.
Exactly.
Into your. In this day and time, I mean, even
And the guy that tells them no.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know,
Right.
You know, as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Even in this day and time, it's just like, think about it. Times have changed. It used to be like the leaders or the conquerors would be this big strong dude who would kill everybody, right? But now you got like Bill Gates and you know what I'm saying. Everybody else is skinny. You know what I'm saying. The mind tricks the body tricks the mind. Right?
What's your? I'm sorry, young lady. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Topaz.
Topaz.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
I don't know Topaz, but I'm gonna assume Topaz want a strong man in her life. She want a weakling. Women. Like Topaz, they don't like, it's not all, see, men, we look at looks. Women don't necessarily look at looks. Women like leadership. They like men that can protect them, that can guide them, that can protect them, that can show them the way. That's what women like. And it's not even about, I'm being better than you and stuff like that. That's not what women want. Women like to feel protected knowing, hey, you know what? This guy's the real deal. You know why women don't like weak men? Because weak men can't protect them. Weak men are fuckboys. That's why they don't like them. And a lot of times, the bad boys come across as, oh man, that's all they like. It ain't because the shit the bad boys doing. It's the other qualities that the women like in them. Protected them. They can lead them. They can guide them. Because every woman wants to feel protected. And they want to be guided. Even the most fiery woman will tell you, if I can find a man that can lead me, I submit to him.
But the thing about this is this thing, like, even if that's the case, man, you got women that will follow. If you have that mentality, that masculinity like that,
yeah,
and that's all that you know,
yeah,
it only takes you so far, and that's real shit.
That's true.
You know, it only takes you so far because then you know what I'm saying. You'll just be that dude that's blaring out because listen what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because it's cool to know that you can protect someone.
Right.
That's one thing to know that you could, but to sit here and just be constantly, what you looking at? What you doing?
Oh,
what
no,
you doing? All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because
not just that.
That mental capacity has to be there because you know you see dudes that are hood or thugged or have that even like bodybuilders that have that whole masculine just rah. It only takes you so far. It's a whole balance to how that thing goes down.
Right.
And I think when it comes to men, it's kind of awkward because you want to be yourself, right?
Right.
You want to be yourself,
and you can be yourself.
You know who you are, but knowing that your girl is a baddie, knowing that she might have a fat ass, or you know what I'm saying, she looks good, knowing that when you take her out, there's only gonna be other dudes looking at her and checking her out. How do you conduct yourself? Now, that doesn't mean that just because you can fuss and fight and all that stuff. That doesn't mean shit. It's just how you handle the situation, right? As being a man. But again, a perfect balance has to be there, because just as a man, because you're gonna lose yourself trying to be something that you're not on a constant.
Well, no. Well, let me add this to it. I'm gonna use y'all too, because I know y'all very well. I'm gonna use T-Code. I'm gonna use my man right here, Wafeeq. Y'all ain't gangsters, but y'all got the qualities that women look for. Y'all leaders.
Yeah, they're masculine men.
Y'all masculine. Y'all mean what you say. Y'all can guide them.
Right.
Y'all ain't robbing liquor stores. So the women like Topaz and whoever else, they gonna say, they gonna say, you know what? I can be with them. I can do with them because I know if I'm weak, I'm in a space. If I'm in a weak space, I know Tico has me. I know Wafeeq has me.
Pause.
Or better yet, I know Dean got me. That's without all the other shenanigans, like the cats we grew up with in Southeast Raleigh, robbing liquor stores and all that. That's what women look for. And like I said before, and I said to the cows come home, no woman on this earth, I don't care who they are, they can be 21 or they can be 81. They do not want a man that no other woman doesn't want. And that doesn't mean from a sexual standpoint. That just means from guidance. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what my grandmother told me. I'm telling you what all four of my great-grandmothers told me. They like a man with substance. It ain't about looks. And a woman will submit to her man if he submits to God or if he submits to my man over here, Allah. Am I right or wrong?
That real talk.
That's it.
Look.
Wafeeq, you had some.
I was just laughing because Topaz is over there chiming in after everything.
Yeah.
These two men are masculine. Yeah.
Topaz, I hope this means you agree with me. Yeah, like a woman don't really want a man that's robbing liquor stores. It's the see when people say, "Oh, she like a thug," she don't like him because he robbing stuff. She like him because he takes control of the situation. He knows how to guide her. Something as simple as, "Hey, I want to go on a date." You know what? Tico or my man Wafeeq or Toro or myself, we say, "Boom, we're going to Roof Chris. I'm gonna get this. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. All I gotta do is show up."
Yeah.
Women like to be led. I'm gonna say it. Some women ain't gonna agree with it. By nature, we're supposed to lead, and they like leaders. I don't care how feisty a woman may be. She wants a man that can lead her. That's just the reality of how we are made.
Or a woman that can lead another woman.
I wish you all could hear Topaz. I
know, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
exactly. Facts.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the truth. And you know, we didn't get to say some of that, but that's the truth. I'm not, and that goes for it's not racial. That's humanity. I don't care.
Yeah.
She needs to get on the mic.
Yeah.
She got a lot to say over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth. That's why. Hey,
but you're very true, and that's what I try to bring in on some of these things.
That's how
let's
it works.
bring it back, right? Because we like to think, things should be a different way. But hold on, why are things the way they are? Why do they develop this way? Because
we are made like this. Yeah. Men are made to lead. Women like leaders. I'm just gonna put it like that. You can argue with your mama or whoever. That's the truth.
Nice.
It ain't got nothing to do with your religion. As men and women, that's just how it is. Women don't like weak men. People like, man, that dude, he's 5 feet, 5. She love him to death. You know why? Because she love him. He's the leader. He got the qualities that she like. Women don't care about looks like men do. It just is what it is. Yeah, you may look good. You may be 6'4", 6'5", but you a pussy. She ain't fucking with you.
I do think that to some degree they are.
Am I right or wrong, Topaz? Thank you.
Less superficial. I think maybe the dating apps have altered that because now and I've heard this on another podcast, and let me ask you what you'll think, and then we'll do last thoughts and we'll wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that women can get fucked, by many men, right?
Yeah.
But that at times they can confuse who they can get sex from to who they can get a relationship from.
Preach.
Exactly.
And I think that then it leaves you sour, right? You're dealing with fuck boys, right? Like they're not taking you seriously. And then these other men, right, that are maybe not, displaying those qualities that maybe would be good to them are just might not even be a person. They don't even see them. What do you think? And we'll start with Wafeeq.
Go ahead.
Like,
go ahead, Tico.
Let's start with Tico.
Oh, it's like this, man. It's like a great comic once said, Sinbad said, I remarried my wife because I got tired of messing with these young girls because I need somebody to know what a stroke looked like. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, for real. It's more or less if you sitting here and you're just marrying because of looks or all that stuff fades. It's about somebody like when you get sick, when you get to a point where you can't really take care of yourself. Will that person be there for you? I mean, these are the questions that I don't think that people sit here and think about because you can sit here and chill with somebody that's, beautiful, but do they have the mind state to know if something's really wrong with you? Can they really take care of you? Can they take you? They know, you might need to go to the hospital, or they just want to go out and party every freaking weekend. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's like I said, I'm an analog dude in the digital world. It's weird for me because you have to be mindful of the things and the people that you give your time and your energy to. So I'm just like, yo, man, if you don't have, you can look good as all outdoors, but if your mental's not there, it doesn't make a difference because, like I say, all that stuff fades, man.
Did you feel that 20 years ago?
Did I feel it 20 years ago? No, because I was 20 fucking 20. I was 20. I was fucking young as shit. The world was mine. I wanted the videos. They showed the chicks that you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Tico, hold on, Tico. You sell yourself short, man. Tell them who used to dance with. Cause they need to see if you're gonna tell this story, you got to tell the whole story.
Well, I used to dance with like Special Ed back in the days. I was a hip hop dancer.
There you go.
I've toured and I've traveled around, so I've seen a lot of things. I've been around a
Preach,
lot of
brother,
things.
preach.
So I've been to like Uncle Luke parties and stuff. So I'm just saying, to me personally, I have peaked in my 20s, and everything else after that was just like nonchalant. It didn't mean anything. It meant no. I'm sorry.
You had your fill. You had your fill.
The physical part didn't mean as much to me as it did when I was younger, because now it's to the point like now I'm looking for substance. Now you sit here and you're looking for this, that, and the other. I've been married twice, divorced twice. You know what I'm saying? So not saying that they were bad women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I loved them at one point in time. It just happened that there wasn't the right fit. The first one was because I didn't know what marriage was about. And I'll just be honest. I didn't know. I thought because if I worked and I brought home the check, everything would be copacetic, because no man has ever sat here and said, this is what you need to do, right? The second one, I said, well, maybe I might need to be a little bit more into this relationship, blah, blah, blah. She was younger. She had a mental state of going to go get it. That attracted me to her. You know what I'm saying? Her I'm gonna go get this bag.
Yeah.
Let me go do this. And she was that, and I thought that was down. But again, when you go out here, not to tell her business, but it didn't work out. I'm not saying that she's a bad person. It just didn't work out.
You need the mental, it sounds
right.
like.
Right, exactly. So I'm just saying that it's a process.
Yeah.
And you have to work at it. And if you don't work at it, and when I say work at it, I don't mean just like, this is how I feel, and if you don't work this way, it's not going to work. You have to it's compromise. And that's when I think that the youth today is missing, is that there is compromise, because I think that men and women think that this is how it is for me, and if you don't fit in this with me, then it's not going to work, and that's not how life works.
No, thank
Amen.
you.
That's why I want you to tell that part, because I want people to hear the whole story, not part of the story.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna show you one last video, and then we'll do last thoughts and wrap
Yeah,
up.
go ahead,
okay?
man. No problem, brother. Take your time. Hey, we drinking now. It's all day, baby.
Hell yeah, no, I gotta pee too. So.
Oh, she go again. Oh, did she had nipples? Now she got nipples.
Yeah, well,
God. She know what she doing. I'm gonna write a run Wafeeq.
Why she tap her friend? Why she tap her hand? Why she make her titties move? See how she lean and watch. Go ahead, let's go. Look at her. See?
Number 2, grill and know how to use a grill effectively to prepare food. Number 3, change a
Wafeeq, and last thoughts along with it.
Go get a Wafeeq.
Once again, she is exactly right.
True that.
Every man should, and a matter of fact, I would say every person should, because to me these are survival skills everybody needs to know. But then I emphasize it even more for a man, because if it is in your nature to protect, if it is in your nature to lead, as the gentleman just said, these are things that you need to know how to do. So if I have a son, I got to make sure he knows those things. I had men in my life who made sure I knew those things. Mm-hmm. And I even have, I know some women who were didn't have brothers, and their fathers made sure they knew those things, because those are basic survival skills.
Needs. Exactly.
So most definitely everybody should learn those things, and most definitely every man should know those things.
Mm-hmm. And any last thoughts?
I agree with 100.
Sorry, Dink.
I'm sorry.
Any last thoughts on the pod, the panel?
Yes, I'm going to Walmart after this to get my oil changed, because I got to get my. Somebody's got to change my oil. I knew everything except for the oil change. I got the tire change. All of that.
Let me tell you that. Hold on. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. Due to the simple fact the way that they making cars now, because they're flipping the engines and flipping them over. So it's hard to sit here and do maintenance on your own car, because number one, they know that if men sit up here and do their own stuff, that they wouldn't make the money that they're going to try to make.
Exactly.
So, exactly.
That's why I don't know how to.
Speaking of Walmart, speaking of Walmart, Wafeeq, you got to tell a story. It's Walmart related. We went to Mississippi. We did a show last year, August.
Yeah.
Tell the story, Wafeeq. You got, because it's dealing with Walmart. And we had to go to Walmart. And you got to explain why we went to Walmart.
Yeah, because I'm driving back from Mississippi. First of all,
and you driving my car.
Yeah, and I got a speeding ticket. Number one, that was messed up. I had to get that taken care of. And we got while we were getting pulled over for the speeding ticket, we got a flat tire. So we couldn't just pull out and leave and speed off, man, and be like, forget that cop. No, we had to stop. Whoa, why is the car tire sounding like that? We got a flat tire, and we had to go to Walmart.
So he pulled you over, and when you pulled over, you caught a flat.
Tell where we went. We had to go all the way. I had to change it. We had to change it.
Yeah. We went to. Why couldn't we change it?
We did change it.
But we did change it.
And we had to go to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, so he wanted to go buy a new tire immediately. So we stopped in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to go to Walmart to buy a new tire, and we had something like a 4-hour wait for the tire.
God, dog.
Yeah, they had to order some new tires and some other stuff. It was a 4-hour wait.
Yeah, man.
Did y'all make it to the show?
No, it was the day after the show.
Oh,
we was in Greenwood, Mississippi. God. But I had to bring that story up, man, because it made our trip a lot longer. But the reason why I told him to bring that story, not just because of Walmart, man, but Wafeeq and I became extremely, extremely close. Going to Atlanta, to Mississippi, and back all the way to North Carolina. And one thing I learned about him was his religion. And he's true to being a Muslim. He prayed 5 times a day. But what I really like about him, he said, Dink, it's okay for me to go pray. And I said, brother, even though we share 2 different religions, I will make sure you do whatever you got to do. And we did it. And I'm saying that to say it's just, it ain't about, I don't like him just because he's a comedian. He's a great person. But I like him a lot too, man, because he's genuinely who he is.
Yeah.
So when he does his Islam podcast, he's not doing it for views, even though that will help him in the long run. He's doing it because that's genuinely who he is. So he's not a fake person, and he's definitely not a false prophet.
Well, do you think because we all are genuine. Like I say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're built, we're cut from a different cloth
Absolutely.
from what's going on now, right?
Yeah.
Does that hinder us when we go out and we trying to find that perfect, fit for us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. It does, because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to someone who grew up in a Christian household. First of all, let me just preface my statement with this. I believe we all serve the same God. We just call him something different. That's my personal belief, and that's not knocking nobody's religion. Because one thing I do, I stand 10 toes down on whoever God you believe in him. I just think it's the same person.
Right.
However, if I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, he's a Muslim, he might be a Christian.
Catholic, but
Catholic.
Enough, yeah.
If you don't believe in the same person, whatever your religious beliefs are, I think it can be a problem. I believe that 100%. Because if I get on my knees and pray to my God, and I know what my God has done for me, and you say, no, I don't believe in God, I can't deal with you.
All right. Do you find dealing with like, well, you just got divorced, so
yeah.
If like when you're dating, right? Because these are things that I tend to think that people tend to forget about, that these are parts of people's lives, right? How do you feel when you date a woman that is not of Muslim belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you come to her and you're like, well, you know, this is what I believe and this, that, and the other, do you find like, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to be a 5%. So when the first thing I heard, you don't eat pork? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you, do you find that it, when you date, do you date women who have the same religion background as you? Or are you open-minded to the point of other religions, and how do you deal with like that?
Yeah. Well, I don't in answer to your first question, I don't find our traditional value mindset to be a problem whenever I am, as you said, dating women, whereas you all might, because I don't date, as you call it, women who are not in my community. So I would not be going after a woman who is not in my community, and my community is Muslims, right? So I wouldn't be going after a woman who's not Muslim. So that's not a problem for me, because she's going to have the same ideology as me, which is closer to what modern day society considers to be a traditional mindset.
Right.
To your second question, I don't have a problem with this dating non-Muslims because Muslims don't date. So
I didn't know that. See, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm talking about. Because once we have these discussions, because everybody seems to have, if you don't know, then you always assume that this is what things are going to be. See, talking to you, I appreciate that because I didn't know that.
Same. Sorry. That like I highly respect you, Wafeeq, and I have learned a lot from you, like especially about your conviction, your religion, like you're a good person, and I really am thankful for you coming on this podcast because I feel like we got to know each other a lot better than we would have otherwise on the scene.
I agree.
And I'm not even going to front, like, I've like me and Kiefer, we have I'm sorry, I'll be fucking taking your name and anybody's name. I'll just make it simple. But anyway, we've communicated before, but never really sat down and like chopped it up. But I watched this podcast and like I subscribe to it, man. Like I really like watch it because not only is these like my peers and in my community as far as comics, I really get to see people and really get to see how they think. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear the jokes. Now I understand the jokes because I know the person where it's coming from.
Yeah, and we're an authentic. I thrive on authenticity.
Exactly,
I dig into it.
Exactly.
If you're saying something
I've learned so much about him by watching your podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yo, man, you're a solid dude. And I've already told you that you're a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you. And I appreciate this podcast. And I appreciate you having me on here, so people can get to see me and feel me a little bit more than what I am. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do my bit, people just think I'm just some dude on the microphone just high as hell. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? There's layers to these jokes. You feel me?
I love it.
And so I appreciate you, dude. Like, for real. Like, I'm telling you, man to man, which we need to do is give dudes they flowers while they still here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, we see, just a full disclosure, we left on a Friday, right, to go to Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
It was last year, August of last year. Came to my house on a Friday, we went to Atlanta, did an open mic, spent the night at a hotel, got up. Next day, drove another 6 hours to Greenwood, Mississippi. And along the way, I learned a lot about Islam. He said, hey man, can I listen to, I'm paraphrasing. Can I listen to, some Islam and stuff? I said, yeah. There and back. And as someone who grew up in a Christian household, was a Christian, I said, yeah, I want to listen to it. But what I learned more about him more than a comedian or anything, I learn more about his principles and what he believes in. And that's why I love him as a brother. He's authentic. Even when we got the ticket, he wanted to drive. I said, okay, we drive. We got a ticket. And he was telling me about the defensive driving and everything. And I said, that's cool. And we got the ticket, got the nail in the tie. I said, cool, let's go and fix it. Everything was all, he was calm throughout the whole time. And I'm saying that to say you learn more about, he is who he say he is.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get behind their religion and they'll be something totally different.
But you know what?
But not him.
One thing I found, and I
not Wafeeq.
He's earnest, and I highly respect. Because we can have different perspectives on things, right? But if you are earnest and honest about who you are, I'm all about that. I have. At this stage, I actually find it offensive when people are not real, to some degree. Yeah. And some people that won't come on this podcast is because I think they are.
That's why I came on.
And I understand the professional career and whatnot. We get a little wild here. But some of the negative reactions of people that I've had on this podcast when they're not authentic, when it's a screen, I mean, you can lie and make it seem authentic, right? But it's all about connections, and I feel very, I'm honored by all you guys being able to willing to come on. Dink, are cool, but I don't think we would have gotten to know as much if we hadn't got some chats.
Yeah, we go way back because at the Dirty Book. First time I met Arturo, he had his wig on.
Yeah,
he did a set I thought was funny. And that particular show, people didn't really laugh. He said, I think I pissed them off. I said, good. You got their attention. I said, that's all that matters. Yeah. I said, if you're a comedian, you get on stage and if you make them happy, you make them sad, you make them angry, you done your job.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though being a comedian is extra hard dating due to the simple fact that, do you think women kind of keep stuff from you or try to act as perfect because they don't want to be part of the set?
Both. You gotta understand how women love attention by nature. Just like we love coochie by nature, they love attention. So if Tico, and I know how you are, I've known you since, just for full disclosure, me and him go way back when we were kids, Southeast Rock. Women like attention. So if Tico is giving you attention, they gonna want that.
Yeah.
They gonna want it. Same thing with Wafeeq, same with Toro. They gonna want some type of attention, whether it's in your stand-up or you just selling their paraphernalia. So they can say, "Oh yeah, he acknowledging me, baby, because I'm selling his stuff, or he talking about me on stage." They love it.
You do that? You do? Because what I get is don't you use that? Don't you say that?
No. That's them saying they want you to use it. Women love attention, and some of them might not like that specific, don't use that joke. But if you say something like, we went out to an extravagant restaurant and you spent all this money and you made it funny, man, they love that shit. They absolutely love it.
What about you? I mean, I know you're in the community.
They absolutely love it.
But, do you do? Because I really, in all actuality, I don't think that I've ever heard you say anything about dating. If I'm not, that's just me. I don't know if you have. I'm sure you have material about it, but I haven't heard it. So maybe you know what I'm saying. Maybe
like in a stand-up.
Yeah, in stand-up. I've never heard him say anything about like that in stand-up. So
I've never run into a problem with a woman having anything or having a problem with anything that I was saying or trying to restrict my content.
What about them or anything that is about them?
No, I never had because I think part of the reason I never had is because I never actually cared.
No,
I never bothered to ask
for anybody's comic. I get that.
Wafeeq, tell me about that one. One day we had, it was at the Dirty Boy about 2 years ago. He bought this bad Muslim woman there.
Hey, you've been drinking too much, so no.
He's
spilling. He's spilling.
Yeah. I live in Durham, so I go to the Durham Wall. I walk and I jog there all the time. And I saw the Pacific one.
Yeah.
And she saw me and she kind of waved. I said, that look like the girl that Wafeeq brought to the Dirty Bull. So I hit up Wafeeq. I said, man, what happened? Wafeeq told me some story. I said, Wafeeq, man, you couldn't have dropped that. She was bad, boy. She was bad.
Yeah.
Look here, dog. Just because the cover good don't mean the reading is.
I know. Yeah. we laughed about it, though. It was at the end of the day, it really was just a joke.
But you know what's crazy? I want to clarify this, too, because I know I said Muslims don't date, and I'm pretty sure there's some viewers who are going to be looking at and saying, well, yeah, they do. I know some Muslims that do. What I mean is we're not supposed to date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our system is more in line with the system of our grandparents, right?
Right.
You all's grandparents is non-Muslims. We don't date. We just decide who we're going to marry. And then we let them know we're interested in getting married. Then they decide if they want to get married. We take a minute to talk, get to know each other, but not in the traditional sense of we're going to go to a restaurant, just the two of us.
Right.
We're going to continue to do that and then possibly have casual sex along the way and then say that we're dating each other for months on end.
Right.
Now, we don't do that. We do it more like our grandparents and great-grandparents did, which is I'm interested in getting married. You know anybody who's interested? Hey, who is she? I'm interested in getting married. Are you cool with that? And then you ask me the same thing, and then we either get married or we don't.
And that's what I learned on our trip. See, we spent the whole weekend together from Friday to actually Monday morning when we came back to Durham because his car, he left his car at my house. He drove from Raleigh to my house. And I was in the military, like I said before, and I met a lot of Muslim guys. I never met one as authentic as Wafeeq. Seriously. Like, I have been to the battle. I've been in the field with these guys. They didn't practice Islam like he did. So,
Also, am I dead? Because I mean, you all are praising me like I died.
No, I'm not praising.
No,
it's not praising you.
30 minutes ago.
You understand, man.
Just give me your props, man.
Well, you understand. We live in a Christian country, and him and I can't speak for Arturo for specifically, but by him and I being the same age, growing up in Southeast Raleigh and being around, we grew up around guys who pretend to be Muslim. Brother, you walked it. I was with you for that whole weekend. And I can honestly say, I came away respecting it, and I said, man, wow, I got more questions. I said, I want to learn about this because you were telling me different things, and I walked away impressed. There was nothing more empowering than when we got into South Carolina at that rest stop. He pulled out his rug. I went to go to the bathroom, and he prayed to Allah. He did it. He said, and I'm going to tell you what I loved about him. He said, man, do you mind if I pray? I said, brother, I would never, ever stop you from praying to your God, because I think we serve the same God. That's just me.
Yeah, but look,
and he'll tell you that. I'm not making this up. Am I lying?
Nah, you are.
I'm not lying.
Christians call him the Father. Jews, I believe, call him Yahweh.
And on the way there, he said, "You mind if I play some scriptures about Muslim?" I said, "Man, you are a host. I'm sorry, you are a guest in my house, even though we were driving. This weekend is all you." And I wanted him to feel the love that I had and respect for his religion, because I believe in God too. I know we all call him something different, but I know at the end of the day, if he's hurting, he's praying for me, and I'm praying for him.
Wafeeq's like, why are you buttering me up?
I know, right?
I ain't buttering him up.
Well, look, I'm about to take three steps back.
Wafeeq, did I not tell you this a year ago? But Wafeeq would tell you, I told him this in his face. This ain't. I told him this in his face.
Alcohol and oldness.
Because I asked him, I said, man, who is this? He said, no, man, this is nah. And that's why I love him. He's a little bro.
Age and alcohol, ladies and gentlemen. This is
makes you tell the truth, though.
We'll tell you the truth. It'll tell you the truth. And like I say, Wafeeq, you know what I'm saying?
You called them 3 different times.
I know I did. I know.
He the man. I love the name. It's like a rapper name.
The thing about it is like the thing about it is just that me personally, the whole comedy scene is bugged out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's a really bugged out thing, and if anybody knows me and have seen me, I will sit, even at an open mic. I will sit from the beginning to the end.
Amen.
Of the open mic.
That's me.
And I will sit and I will watch your set, and I will if it's funny.
Yeah,
I will laugh.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing about comics when they watch other comics that they don't sit here and they'll judge you. They'll look at you like, okay, I see the cadence, I see the movement of blah 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 blah. But dude, if you have something funny to say, it's amazing how they would just clam up. I love comedy.
Same.
I love it. And if you say something that's funny, even if you're just beginning, and I hear the premise of it, and I know where you're going with it, I'm automatically laughing. When I first met, I didn't know Dink was doing comedy, you know what I'm saying, until like later on. I was like, this dude right here doing comedy? So when he started doing comedy, I was like, yo, I started listening to him. I'm like, yo, even now.
I told you to do it.
Yeah, he told me to do it. So I'm telling you, he was my mentor. So I'm telling you, like, That's how much I love comedy. And when I first saw you doing your thing, I'm not jumping on your dick or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that, that you're dope.
Yep.
I listen to you. I hear you. And you're going somewhere. Dink, he promised he's there. You too, man. I've seen you do your shit.
I told Toro the same thing.
You doing your thing, man.
Told both.
And it's the point that I love it that we do this comedy, but we do it for us, and other people got to come up to meet us where we are at. And it doesn't seem like any of us have to bring ourselves down. Does that make sense to anybody else's level? And that's why I appreciate you. That's why I'm giving everybody their flowers right now. Because, at this particular time and moment, especially as men, that's what we need to do. We need to, encourage each other and be like, yo, let's do this. This whole setup here, bruh, I've been in podcasts. I've been doing other stuff like this right here. I haven't seen a setup like this. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a setup like this. And to me, it's like, yo, this is what it's about, right? This is what we need to do to take this comedy to another level. And
and let me jump on that real quick,
because
and this goes to a video that you shared with me, Wafeeq, the other day, right? Like, I started comedy in Austin, and then I moved here like 6 months after, right? And this scene, it can be finicky, but it could be so supportive. Like I'm also a fan of comedy. Like I went to an open mic yesterday. I wasn't performing, or it was a show.
You do it all the time
just to see.
You came to my special a couple years ago. Yeah.
And I don't know if unless you're in that clique, if people go support other people's shows as much, where you could, and build that collaborative. Like I think Wafeeq all the time for being, it's a time commitment, being a regular thing. And I think we could, we should be able to be a supportive comedy community, because that a rising tide raises all ships, and this little infighting, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I know that, Wafeeq, we were talking about this the other day, right? Like I am a little bit of a bull in a china shop, right? Like people, it didn't fathom to me the other day that somebody that I didn't know that knows about this podcast didn't know that outside of the panel, which I'm greatly thankful for, this is all a one-man show, one-man setup, it takes a lot of my time, but that people and I'll welcome anybody on this podcast, right? Even some people that I said you shouldn't have them on your podcast, but I want to hear from the horse's mouth. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear the real you. And I think we can all be supportive of each other that way. And I don't know, Wafeeq, you had some thoughts on the community on the other podcast that you said, and I thought you were spot on.
Yeah, collaboration is key, man. Collaboration is what it's all about. That's how you really advance a scene, and you really advance everybody. Because the collaboration is important, because you're going to start off with like-minded people. You're going to start off with your own tribe first. So I'm going to start off with black men. I'm going to start off with black people, right? But then when you start to branch out to other people, other groups, you start to learn something different, a new way of doing something, a new technique, right? And I think about something another comic here named Artsy Musa told me. He said he was at the, I think maybe he was hosting or something at the Improv.
Right.
And Andrew Schultz came through.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. He came through with the team. He had his own host. He had his opener. He had a bunch of other people.
And they share jokes.
Yeah, that's what Artsy said. He said when they came backstage, they all wrote the jokes down and they kind of threw them out on the table and they deconstructed Andrew Schultz's jokes. And one guy who's not famous but friends with Andrew Schultz on his team was saying, the way you said this is okay, but if you say it differently, it'll be much better. And then if somebody else was like, yo, this right here straight up didn't work. This is whack. You should throw this away. Try it this way, right? And so they deconstructed Andrew's jokes and reconstructed them to be better as a unit, right? And so when he did the next show, it was better because all of them collaborated on it. And then after that, they deconstructed the other people's jokes to make them better. So it was like all five of them working to make everybody's sets better. And then Artsy said he told them, yo, man, I like what you all are doing. I've never seen anything like this before. And they all looked at him because they're out of New York.
Right.
They all looked at him and said, don't you all do it like this here? And he said, no. And then he said, Andrew Schultz told him something, and I'm paraphrasing here, something to the effect of, well, that's why your scene is the way it is, and our scene is the way it is.
Did he still hold? Did Archie still host that show?
I don't know what his involvement was in it, but he said he was in it.
But he's absolutely correct.
That's true
because he's absolutely correct because of the simple fact of that. Again, I hate to keep saying my age.
No, say it, bro.
I keep saying about my age because all this comes with, you know what I'm saying, just growth. You know what I'm saying? If I say some stuff and you say, T, that was dope, but you should say it like this, you should get out yourself and be like, yo, that does sound, maybe that does sound good. Maybe we could, you know, we should do that. We should write and do this. You know, I'm totally with that. It's just that this scene around here is so fucking cliquey, and but that's everywhere.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, I'm gonna cut you off. But it's cliquey to the point where, you know, we can build on this thing and make this scene so much better than what it is, because there's some dope amateur comics that's out here that's, you know what I'm saying, really out here doing some stuff. They have dope ideas, but just don't know how to bring it home. Yeah. Right?
Well, and I want to interject
there's even some jokes that I have
yeah.
that I'd be like, well, that doesn't sound right coming out my mouth, but it's in my head. Yeah. You know, so how can I do that?
Well, I want to interject here real quick. Sorry, Nick. And we met at a show, and I want to give shouts out to Victoria. Yeah. Victoria's not clicky. Victoria's put me on a show, you know, like, because she likes me or thinks she's funny.
Victoria,
you know, like,
good people. She's funny.
But she, like, you know, Victoria's great. You know, like, she catches a lot of heat on this podcast, but Victoria is, once again, genuine about who she is. So you can respect that. You know, I think. What you were saying?
Yeah. I was going to say, when I first met Mike Mello, I've been doing comedy almost 10 years now. I remember I met Mike Mello. He said, man, he said, I don't believe you've been doing it X amount of time. I think I just started. Make a long story short, it was a good nights one night, pre-COVID. I said a joke. When I got off stage, Mike said, man, that was funny. But to your point, Andrew Schultz, this is how you can make it funnier. Mike said, say it like this. And Mike Mello would always say that. To your Tico point, it can be like New York. But what happens with stand-up that I notice in this area, it's all about cliquish versus bigger cities like Andy Schultz and his crew.
Let's everybody get out here.
Let's get out here and do it.
And pop it.
Now I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna make it cultural. White comedians, regardless of where you Scotland, you Irish, you white American, you Italian, they say, hey, like Andrew Schultz said, this is how you make your set better. You make it, we make it. I'm gonna take all my jokes. You can have them. Just look out for me. Brothers don't do that. I can't speak on the Latino community.
I don't know about that, man. I give you a couple of jokes, man. You ain't using it.
but here's the thing.
Jordan gave me, let me use one joke, but he's half black.
But I'm going to say this. My man right here, to my right, Wafeeq. Wafeeq said, Dink, I struggle with black audience. We did that show in Farmville, February 2023. You got on the show. He said, Dink, I said, this is Wafeeq said, Dink, I don't know if I can do it. I said, bro, you black. You can do it. Me and him talked. I didn't give him no taglines or nothing. I said, Wafeeq, when you hit the stage, be you. What happened, Wafeeq? Tell him what you did. Tell him.
I did pretty well. Yeah. I did pretty well.
6 months later, we go to it's called Greenwood, Mississippi, but I call it slave boat. Wafeeq, what you do?
I did pretty well again. I think
how much time? No, you sugarcoating, brother.
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes.
How much? How did you kill it or not?
Yeah, I think by the technical definition, I crushed.
The dude that put us on the show is named Oscar Pruitt out of Memphis, Tennessee. He's old school. It's like this.
Yeah,
Tico, Arturo. If you come on the stage, I don't care if it's an open mic or the show. If you suck, he gonna tell you suck.
Good.
This brother came on the stage. He said, "Man, you did a good job." Mm-hmm. I told him from day one. I said, "No, bro, you got it. You just ain't putting it out there. You can't give two fucks." I told Arturo the same thing. Arturo did a show at the Dirty Bull. Open mic. I said, Toro, I thought you were funny. He said, yeah, I didn't think they liked it. I said, that's good. Keep doing you.
Yeah, my jokes are a little edgier, so the comics usually like them. And I don't mind bombing, you know. Like the other day, I opened.
But I told him he didn't bomb. They just didn't understand.
They didn't come
what
up to
happened
you.
the next time?
They didn't come up to you.
What happened the next time?
Great. Like we just did a show. The crowd loved my set as well. You know, even though
I told the Toro, I said, you killed it. I said, look, if you're a comic and if you don't make people uncomfortable, happy, sad, or whatever emotion, you ain't doing your job.
Make them feel. Yeah,
make them feel.
Toro came and said, he said, think you did it. Show me my money. But no, Toro understood what I was saying. You cannot give two fucks. I told Tico. Because I remember Tico said, Tico want to do comedy. I said, brother, you got it. He showed me all his jokes.
I was just writing jokes. I ain't even been out. I haven't even been on stage. I was just.
And I looked at him and I said,
the crowd can smell enough.
I'm not gonna say the N word. I said N word. You got it. 7 years later, he said, "Think I got this? I got that." I said, "Brother, I told you had it." I said, "What are we talking about?"
Yeah.
Stand up is not to make the people who don't like you happy.
Exactly.
Right.
You're gonna reach your audience regardless.
Right.
I told Toro that. I told you that, and I told my man Wafeeq that.
Yeah, you know, Dink's been my mentor, so I got.
And I stay on him.
Listen, if you're a real person, there's gonna be people that don't like you.
Exactly.
Simple
I
as
told
that.
Toro.
Like,
I'm gonna tell you why I love Toro. I said, Toro, you remind me of myself. I said, brother, if they not laughing, it's not necessarily mean you're not funny. Let's call a spade a spade. First of all, we're in a non-traditional comedy club. Take your same jokes, go to a comedy club, they love you.
Yeah.
It's harder on the independent circuit.
Yep.
I said, you got him. Next time I saw Toro, he think they laughed. I said, I told you they gonna laugh. You can't give two fucks. When you see me, do I give a fuck?
No. Well, you know, I had.
I told him to. I told Tico. Tico like, no, Dink, I don't know, man. I said, brother.
The only thing I had to say about that is because I had just got divorced, and so I had a lot of fucking damn.
And I stay on his ass.
I had a lot of hate. I had a lot of hate jokes. You know what I'm saying? I heard a whole lot of that.
But see,
hold on, Dick. So the thing about it was just like, you know, and I was just hating. So, but again, it comes with getting up. One thing Dink told me is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You can have your membership, but you got to walk through the door first.
Yeah.
Right. So when she told me to get up on that mic, so I had to change my whole style up. When I first started, I was angry. I was angry, and then I thought I had to keep continuously the joke. I had to keep hitting it with the joke until I realized that, I can sit in it and let the joke breathe and let people laugh at it, right?
Yeah.
So when I first came out, my whole stick was, my name is Chico de Gallo. I keep it 1,000. Yeah. That's 100 with an extra zero. That's about how many fucks I'm about to give right now.
Right.
Bow, 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 bow.
And I told him,
right?
I said,
he told me, yo, man, bring that shit in. Calm it
finding
down.
that pun.
Bring it in.
I want it. You gotta
and
be.
So I'm sorry, Dink.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Then when I started, I said, okay, bet. I started listening. I started watching the Rat Pack. And one of my favorite was Dean Martin. And Dean Martin used to act like he was drunk all the fucking time. Like he would have a ginger ale in his, but it was black and white, so you didn't know what he was drinking. It was black and white, so he had a ginger ale in his hand, and he would act like he was drunk. I said, bet I could do this. Like people think that I'm hot. Like really, I think people really think that I just be like, I might smoke a little something.
Well, I did say you get a hype before
but I do that. That's only for me to have the scent on me, right?
Right.
So when I get on there and I say, yo, my name is Chico de Gallo. I just, ate an edible. I smoked some weed over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's hitting like now.
You are performing.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
Exactly,
we did that show.
Right.
And I even jumped off your joke when I'm like, sorry, I got high with Tico outside.
Exactly, right. You see what I'm saying? So I had to change my whole dynamics. And if it wasn't for me listening, now it's one thing about motherfuckers, they don't want to listen.
There you go.
To criticism. It's not even being criticism.
It's just
criticism.
the
This is being the truth. He's been in the game longer than I have.
I told him.
So why will I not listen to him? You
I
know
saw
what
the
I'm saying?
talent. Like I told Wafeeq said, I don't do good in black artists. I said, brother, how? You black.
Yeah, I did.
And then I went through some of his jokes. I said, boom, 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 boom. And we got booked for that show in Farmville. And I called him up. I said, you gonna do good. He said, I sure hope so. for the show, this is what I told him. I said, let it all go. How did you do? You did good.
I did well, yeah.
He did what? Arturo, we're open mics, God forbid. I'm like, Arturo, you funny. I said, you got the person that do it. He did the same thing. I told him,
and especially at that time, you know, I was
Yeah,
near,
he was
I was
like,
newer,
"Oh,
I was newer in the scene, so I was.
I told him,
maybe a
give
little
two
bit,
fucks.
And ever since then, right? Like now, I've been in the scene for 3 years or so. I don't give a fuck because guess what? Now everybody that is established already has a point of view on me.
Comedy,
and they're gonna like
comedy
me or
is
you
not
know? So who
about.
cares, you
I
know?
told Wafeeq this. I said, comedy gonna find your audience. Gonna find you.
Exactly.
Comedy is subjective. As much as everybody love Dave Chappelle, I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
There's some people, black and white, don't like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I got white comedians that told me, bro, I listen to Cat Williams long before I listen to Dave. They don't like him.
Yeah, you know what
I told him, I said, Tika, what are you doing? I think, man, I said, brother, get out there and do your thing.
Like Patrice, right?
Yeah,
Like
Patrice,
one of the
Patrice,
funniest comedians in my
exactly.
eyes.
Do you?
But a lot of
Patrice
people
O'Neal.
don't like him.
I
right?
love
Like,
Patrice,
yeah.
but dude, I said, bro.
He cut himself though. He cut himself a lot of times. Like I got jokes like in my mind. Like I know it's me, but it doesn't sound right
Oh, he
coming out of me.
pisses me off.
Like Dink. Like I gave Dink. I'm sorry, cut you out. Like I gave Dink a joke about Beyonce. This is when the Lemonade album
Yeah,
came
he
out.
showed back.
And
Yeah,
I said, yo, Dink. I said this just doesn't
I
sound
cursed
right
his
coming
ass
out
out.
of my mouth.
Cursed him out.
But you can have it. I was like,
I ain't
Beyonce,
want
you
it.
know what I'm saying? That's a powerful woman. I don't really fuck with Beyonce. She's powerful as shit. You know what I'm saying? I said she has all these single women out here dancing around like they single and shit, and then she go home to her husband. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was that type of shit.
I told him no. I said, no, man. I said, that's your problem. You care what Beyonce. Fuck Beyonce.
Yeah.
See, comedy is. I don't want to use his name, but I got to use his name because he is who he is. Trump don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah, he's speaking to his
Trump
base.
hit the. I'm sorry, say it again.
And I think that's why he's funny sometimes because he doesn't give a fuck. He'll just ad lib off the
Speaking
like
to
a
his
comic.
base,
You know, like
If I'm at the Dirty Bull and I got a joke about lesbians or whoever, ugly babies. I don't care how you take it. You ain't gotta like it. It ain't for you. It's for the person that got ugly babies.
Well, I think
that's it.
From listening to what we're saying, man,
Right.
There's two things that jump out to me that make you a better comic and make you better in whatever skill, whatever job you
Skills, yeah,
have.
right.
It is collaboration and
Absolutely.
diversification
And consistency.
So, yeah, consistency is
Yeah.
two.
Consistency.
Collaboration and diversify, the two biggest ones to me.
That's
Collaborate with people, right? Collaborate with other people. It's okay to have cliques, I think, but I think the cliques should collaborate with each other.
Exactly.
And then Dink keeps talking about how when I was in my first year or so, I didn't really know how to do a black room. TK Kirkland, been at it since I think the
TK,
mid '80s, right?
Open up for NWA. Hosted for NWA.
Yep. He said the three things that he looks for in a comic that he's considering putting on the road with him. The three things that make a good comic are: one, can you work clean? Do you have the discipline to work clean? Because it's funnier to be, it's harder to be funny clean than dirty because you can't rely on those shock words, right? So if you are a really funny clean comic, that means your pen game is top notch. Number two, do you have 5 minutes ready to go for TV? So when the Tonight Show calls you, do you have something? But you can't get on the Tonight Show unless you're clean, right? So that goes back to number one. But then the third qualifier is what really got me is, can you work a black room? Because black rooms are different. They demand you get to the point quicker. You need to be more animated and stuff like that. And that disqualifies a lot of the people who have the first two, right? And I was struggling with number three. And I think it was because I wasn't hitting that second component that I said, which is diversify. I was doing a lot of mostly white rooms and breweries.
Right.
And I forgot what it's like to do a black room. So I would encourage all comics, diversify. If you're white, go out and do some black rooms. You're used to black.
I love to see some of these comics that go up and it's a very safe material. You know, do a black room. You know,
You know.
They got a good
It's gonna
sense
make
of
you
humor.
better.
You know, like,
What's the spot we do on House of Art? House of Art is great for that,
like that
because
spot.
you never know what you're gonna get. You might get a black audience, you might get a white audience, and to what you're saying, I love to see white comics when there's more generally black there, because you know what I'm saying. First of all, as me being a black coming to a white, mostly white audience, you know what I'm saying, I still be my blackness, but at the same token, I do get it. There's some things I can't say. You know what I'm saying? There's some things the words that I change due to the simple fact that I'm dealing with the white crowd, right? But dealing with, when I watch white comics get in front of black crowds, because we know how black crowds can get. It's either like, they not trying to fuck with you. You wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Boo, get the fuck off the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's like being at the Apollo. They'll let you know exactly what, if you're funny or not. And let me tell you, I have seen some white comics that hit that stage and just kill it. Like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because they went through the fire.
Yeah.
And they've seen them like, oh, word? Okay,
Yeah.
bet. Let me go ahead. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. And why cut yourself off from that money,
Exactly.
right? So if you're a black comic, get out and do some Mexican rooms,
Exactly.
get out and do some white rooms and stuff like
Amen.
that. Now, if you're the white comic, you've never done a black room and you're worried about doing a black room, here's how you can get up to speed on a black room. You have to go back to the first thing I said, collaborate. Find some black comics that are going to educate you on what black rooms typically look for. Then diversify by going and doing that black room. That's going to make you stronger and open you up to more comedy rooms, which opens you up to more money. If you're the white black comic, it's the opposite. Collaborate with some white comics, find out what that's typically like, learn the writing process from some white comics, then go out and do some mostly white rooms, and you'll see, oh, this over-the-top stuff I'm doing over here might not work over there. Maybe I should rethink about doing this joke so that it works for everybody, and now you just become a much better comic, and you've opened yourself up to more money-making opportunities.
Bet.
Absolutely.
Bet. That's real
That's
talk.
how you do it.
Awesome.
That's real talk.
Gentlemen, it's been real.
Always.
Thank you so much for coming by. We've done 3 hours and 40 minutes.
What time is it? I love this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Man, it's
3:35.
bro.
it goes by like this.
Like that,
you know.
I got here at 11:30.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
right?
I told you say you Mexican, right?
No, I'm Peruvian.
Okay, so that's Latino, right?
Yeah.
You got some black blood in you, man. We went like black people. This is black people stuff. Yeah. I love it, though. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Appreciate y'all.
I love it here. I love y'all being here, man. I really appreciate getting to know you.
I'm now, so I can't stop. So we just
I appreciate. Let me tell you, man. I appreciate you having me here, and I appreciate the conversations that we have. I just hope that you all get a better feel of me and how I think.
Yeah, we'll have you back for sure.
Most definitely, I like this. I think that this is needed, especially for the comic community that's here.
Yes.
Get out here, man. Do some things. And again, Doug, kudos to you, and salute to you in this podcast and all this great stuff you got going on up in here, man. For real.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I want to echo what he's saying, man. It's my second time being on here. I think the first time I did it was in January 2023.
Yeah, it was a while ago, back when we still had the couch.
Yeah, I was on the couch, and that's before I grew my hair out, and now I'm back over here.
Yeah.
And I want to say this on the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate being on the show. Keep doing what you're doing for comedians, man, and continue to be yourself. Don't care. Be who you are.
Thanks, Dank. I appreciate that, man.
I don't care who hear this. Do not submit and kiss ass to any of these local comedians around here because they ain't done nothing. And I mean everything in me. I don't brag on my accolades at all. But
exactly,
I ain't got to kiss your ass, ASSES, and he ain't got to do it either. But what you doing? Oh shit.
That's the drunkenness. Age and drunkenness, yo. Age and drunkenness, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep doing what you're doing. And I love it, man. I told you you're great what you're doing, man. You got everybody on here. So I truly appreciate it, man. Truly appreciate it. And just be yourself. You ain't gotta submit to nobody, because the people that got clicks, they ain't doing anything.
You done killed him now. He can't go to the mosque now.
I'm sorry,
he go to the mosque now. He be like, yo, dude, you out here smelling like red wine, bro.
I've been moving his glass further and further away from him all day.
Exactly. I know. I saw it.
I don't know how I did it.
We get to the end. He finally knocks it over.
Finally got it at the end, right?
He's been calling you a good bustle the whole night, and he's like,
Look, like when he leaves here, he's gonna hit Wafeeq with a damn
I
ham
forgot to talk my
sandwich.
hands,
Hit him with a
man,
ham
but,
sandwich in the back.
yeah.
You're gonna smell like wine and pork. So you know what I'm saying? What the
I
fuck?
can't get Wafeeq in trouble. But no, man, I love the show. Glad to be on here, man. I love to come
definitely.
back.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Love to
man.
have you back, man.
Yeah, man, you're great. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I told you before, be you.
Thank you, man.
I'm just glad it's not Easter Sunday and I got
Yeah.
on my
Hell
Easter
no.
suit.
Yeah, my mama would be calling these Sunday.
Yeah, my grandma would be like ready to fight you, boy. How much money she spent on that suit from the secondhand
No,
store?
not in this suit.
Yeah,
Awesome.
if I was wearing that Easter suit, boy,
Do you need
Gladys
more?
Eccles would have
more.
a problem. Yeah,
I got. No, I'm
there's
good. I'm
some on
good.
the
I
floor.
got. I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, fellas, I got to roll up out of here.
Yeah. And let me thank you for watching Mad League early. We'll catch y'all next week.
All right, we'll see you later. Peace.
Take us back to when we were kids. We didn't know how good